beautiful thing. It was so like it was honestly so like. Good morning, lovely people. It is Thursday, the 8th of December. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And as always, lineup is lit. There's more. We've got one more individual today than we did yesterday, so that's great. Let's introduce ourselves.
It's your boy Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Back like I never left. Couldn't make it yesterday. I was incapacitated. Yeah. I was caught up in the hype. Yeah, had a good night though.
That's good. That's what counts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got carried away. One thing led to another. Did do it on purpose, but you know.
Is that off camera?
It won't happen again.
I want to know what that is.
What?
What did you get carried away with?
Oh no, just like the whole night, just the event.
See, when a woman says that, it means that she texts her ex or something.
Oh no,
that's why I was like, oh, this is lovely.
No, I was just saying. I just like forgot it was a Tuesday. I just thought it was like a weekend.
Oh, okay.
You know, like you just roll on after party. Yeah. Forget.
It's a working week.
Yeah.
It's a school night.
So it messed me up.
I hear you. Do you know, I want to ask you guys about drunk texts, but after the intro. So if someone remind me, please, if I forget.
Cool.
But yeah, it's your favourite shade queen, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. So my question, I do remember. What is you guys' thought processes when you get a drunk text from a girl?
If I received a drunk text?
Yeah.
It depends.
On?
Who the sender is.
Wow, okay. So that's the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if it's someone that you don't want to be receiving text from, it's going to be it's going to be received with animosity, isn't it?
That's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, I would actually want the ground to like swallow me. Mm-hmm. That's so embarrassing.
And especially if it's someone that's like a bad drunk, if that makes sense. So you know like now, like, let's say if I don't interact, they're gonna be on me, like or like blow my phone up, or then it might start nice, then it's gonna turn aggressive.
Would you air it though? Would you ever air a drunk text?
Yeah, if it's from the wrong person.
Yikes! And then you message them back in the morning, like, oh, sorry, I was asleep.
No, my messaging etiquette is not like that.
You just don't message them?
Yeah, I don't reply to messages and stuff. That's nothing like drunk. That's not even people I got. That's like people I'm cool with. Like, I'll pick and choose when my message etiquette is terrible. Like, it's probably
but a drunk text show, not getting a reply for a drunk text, that's nothing can be more embarrassing than that.
You think so?
How come you don't find like composure? You know, because I get in trouble, especially like if I'm linking someone or something. I get in trouble because when I go out and I get drunk, I don't communicate. Like, I'm not a drunk texter. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I've seen I got friends that do that. I see people do that. They get drunk and they start messaging or calling people and having these dumb conversations. Like, I don't do things like that. Like, so, but it's always been a problem. It's like, right, when you're out drunk, how come you don't think of me?
If we're being honest, well, how come they do think of you?
No, they're saying, how come I don't think of them? Like, how come I don't message them?
No, because first of all, you don't care about a lot of things. That's the honest truth. And I think more people need to have that mindset. You don't care about a lot of things. So it's not, you're having fun. You're being present in that moment. But I think with a lot of women that do drunk text, and I do this because they be sober AF, there's no... Exactly. Even if they're tipsy, it's never a genuine drunk text.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you're alert enough to know that you were Ed.
Yeah.
So you're not drunk, are you?
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean? And so sometimes when women drink, it goes straight to the kiddie. It goes straight. Especially depending on what drink it is. If it's a wine, the girls are lit. Literally. Do you get what I mean? But I think with drunk text again, it's that you're not really, it's not really a drunk text. It's you want the attention. So now, because do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you, as someone who's behind, Brent is smiling too cheekily. I don't like that. But as someone who's behind the scenes of this drunk text, not from me, but as in I see drunk text happening in play, it's a lot of deliberation that goes into it. It's a lot of, should I text him? And I'm like, don't. Just don't. I'm that friend. I wouldn't even take your phone. 'Cause I'm like, ma'am, I don't like embarrassment. Whether it's my embarrassment or someone else's embarrassment, it hurts me the same. So I'm like, don't do it. And then after a while, we then sit down. We're like, okay, do you know what is it we're trying to achieve here? Like this whole drunk. There's a lot of thoughts that goes into it. It's not just your girls always know when you're gonna drunk text someone, and then they'll be like, okay, girls, come to pick me up. See ya. But that's the thing. So we have to know what it is that you want from this drunk text. Do you want to have a conversation? Is it like a closure thing? Or is it the wine has gone down to my pussy and I need this sorted out?
Alcohol's the worst. It's not even just texting.
Explain that to me. It's because I don't drink, innit? Does that same thing happen to the guys? When you're drinking?
My brethren, we was at a rooftop bar, and there was some girl coming there. I can't remember. I don't even know why I'm trying to remember her name. It doesn't even matter.
Looking at you like, what is going on?
Doesn't matter what her name is, but she come in there, and he come up to me, and he's like, bro, do not let me go near that bird. That he was. I can't remember. I don't know what the last interaction was. There's even like a little bit of, like I said, animosity there, and that he was like, brother, trust me, don't let me talk to this girl. She's an idiot. Boom, boom, boom. Like honestly, that's onto me. He's drilling it home. Yeah. Don't make me think. I'm like, all right, cool. We're partying. Turning up, this time the alcohol's flowing, you get me? We're wavy. I'm looking for my friend, I can't find him. I spin around, him in the kennel, kissing up in the corner. I'm saying, what the fuck going on? Like, this ain't the plan. This ain't the plan, Kili. Like, what are you doing? Then when I'm going there now trying to stop him, now my man's drunk.
Now he's angry with you.
Not angry with me.
Yeah, now you're cock blocking.
Now I'm cock blocking him, like trying to fight me.
Yeah.
You get me? I said, no, you know what? Let me leave these idiots alone. I had to leave them alone.
And then the next day you get the whole, I told you, man.
Why did you make me do that?
Yeah.
Why did you make me do that?
It happens with girls too. Girls do the exact same thing. I don't get it, but I think it's because that's the person's, it's like comfort. Some people, it's like a comfort thing where it's like you guys have that kind of situation where you only call each other at certain times when the needs are needing. Do you get what I mean? And then some people, it's the thing where you no longer talk. So this is kind of your way to, because people do the whole alcohol gives you confidence. I don't believe that totally. I feel like people convince themselves that alcohol gives them confidence, and then they move the way it was in them when they were sober to move, but they just have something to blame now. It's like, I was drunk. Girl, no, you were not, because when we asked for your address to the Uber, you put it in down to the T. So what do you mean you were drunk? Do you get what I mean? It's interesting, man. Yeah. But drunk text is childish, in my opinion.
So, man, when it is that you drink, you get aroused?
Wow, why'd you ask that?
To be honest, I wanted to ask you, but you'd already said that that's what happens when you drink.
No, I said when the girls drink. I didn't say when I drink.
Oh, okay. So
I'm Nigerian. I can handle my liquor.
Okay.
It's different.
So what the girls here?
The girls?
Yeah, are the weak ones. Yeah, what we say the girls are? No.
I think do you know what it is? I think girls as a nation.
Yeah.
We need to have a meeting.
Yeah,
you know the meeting the emails we're talking about for blackism? We need to have one for the girls because the girls are out here being weak.
Okay.
They're weak in the knees.
And chocolate as well, right?
Chocolate what?
When you eat chocolate.
Chocolate does nothing.
Okay.
Chocolate doesn't do nothing except you're in a setting where chocolate is being used to do something. Okay. So leave it at that.
You're trying to work out aphrodisiacs?
I want to know if it is a drink. This is what the drink does. It goes to the wood.
Yeah, alcohol does do that. It liberates people.
I know about the inebriation, but that doesn't equate to being aroused, right?
I think guys do, as well.
It does.
I think guys do as well from alcohol.
What, get aroused?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to find out.
Just have a drink, you nutter.
You nutter. Not you nutter.
All right. Thank you very much.
No, man, it's interesting, man. But say no to drunk texts, especially if guys are going to be airing you. I'd die.
But you never know, innit?
I'll change my number. I hate embarrassment. I'd change my number, man. That's wild.
Yeah, I think you need to find composure. I don't call people. I don't message people.
Yeah, I think you got to find and I think it's embarrassing. I think when people are younger, it's like, okay, you're younger, blah, blah, but I think from like the age of 23, have some not self-respect, but you get me, like just handle yourself better. I think, I don't know, I just don't think it's a cute look, but that's me.
But isn't it kind of like the whole, a guy approaching you in the gym? Doesn't it depend on who's doing it?
Do you know what? It does. Everything will always depend on who was doing it. But I just don't think it's a cute look. It's just awks because then by the time you get to, sometimes as well, by the time you get to your destination, because some of you start the drunk text too early, so you're starting it when you're in a dancery. By the time from the dance to the location, you're sobered up. So if something you started when you were drunk, you've now got to confront this in a sober state. It's just hella awks, man. But each their own. Different what is it? Different
strokes.
Yeah, that's it.
For
Literally
different
different strokes for different folks.
Literally.
Yeah. You know what? Let's make it wholesome. Let's get into our headlines.
Okay, so the first headline is well, a bit of a situation in Germany. So, 25 people have been arrested in raids across Germany on suspicion of plotting to overthrow the government.
Wow.
Yep. The group of far-right and ex-military figures are said to have prepared for a day X to storm the Reichstag Parliament building and seize power. A man named as Heinrich VIII from an old aristocratic family is alleged to have been central to the plans. According to federal prosecutors, he is one of two alleged ringleaders among those arrested across 11 German states. The plotters are said to include members of the extremist Reichsbürger movement, which has long been in the sights of German police over violent attacks and racist anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. They also refuse to recognize the modern German state. Other suspects came from the QAnon movement, who believe their country is in the hands of a mythical deep state involving secret powers pulling the political strings. Interior Minister Nancy Faeser assured Germans that authorities would respond with the full force of the law against the enemies of democracy. An estimated 50 men and women are alleged to have been part of the group, said to have plotted to overthrow the republic and replace it with a new state modelled on Germany of 1871, an empire called the Second Reich. We don't yet have a name for the group, said the spokesperson for the Federal Prosecutor's Office. The Interior Minister said it was apparently made up of an organisation council and a military arm. Wednesday's dawn raids are being described as one of the biggest anti-extremist operations in modern German history. 3,000 officers took part in 150 operations in 11 of Germany's 16 states, with 2 people arrested in Austria and Italy. So yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that. And the second one is about Matt Hancock. So the former Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, has announced he will not be standing as an MP at the next general election. He was suspended as a Tory MP after taking part in the ITV reality show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. In a letter to Rishi Sunak, Mr. Hancock said that he had discovered a whole new world of possibilities, which he is excited to explore. He added that politicians need to find new ways to reach people outside Parliament. He concluded his letter by saying it had been an honour to serve in Parliament and represent the people of West Suffolk. I will play a part in the debate around the future of our country and engage with the public in new ways, he said. Mr. Hancock had been a minister in successive Conservative governments since 2013 and served as Health Secretary during the coronavirus pandemic. For those unaware, just in case you guys forgot, in June of last year, he was forced to resign from the role after he breached social distancing guidelines by kissing colleague Gina Coladellangelo, who later became his partner. Despite supporting Mr. Sunak in a Conservative leadership campaign, Mr. Hancock wasn't given a role in government when the Prime Minister entered Downing Street. The MP subsequently joined the cast of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, a decision that attracted criticism from fellow MPs and local Tory and the local Conservative Association, who accused him of abandoning his constituency. One Tory colleague, Tim Loughton, called Mr. Hancock an absolute prat for taking part, but Mr. Hancock defended the move, saying reality TV was a powerful tool to reach young people. Announcing his decision to quit Parliament, Mr. Hancock said, "There was a time when I thought the only way to influence the public debate was in Parliament, but I've realised there's far more to it than that."
I always love it when people are fired or denied something and they say, I don't want it. Like, big man, you were never going to be allowed. At least he came fourth, though. I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah. And I think genuinely, I think he's just seen more to life, you know.
No, because do you know what it is? He really won over the public. People really, really liked him.
That's what I'm saying.
He was out there doing the candy. Like, he was really appealing to every demographic he could in whatever way he could.
Yeah.
So, big up him, man.
He's done well, man, to turn it around, man.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem like a bad guy as well, man. So, you know.
Man. It would have been a great... I wish that was the first headline, though. It would have been a great segue from our drunk text.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Put on the matter of cocks. You know what I mean? It would have been perfect. Yeah.
So the last headline is about President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So he's become the 2022 Person of the Year. So the President Zelenskyy and the Spirit of Ukraine, they call him, has been named Time Magazine's 2022 Person of the Year. The annual award by US magazine's editors is given to someone who is felt to have the most global influence during the last 12 months. The magazine has previously said that their Person of the Year is someone who affected the news or our lives the most, be it for better or for worse. So Mr. Zelenskyy has led his country through the war with Russia following Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine in February. Despite international appeals for the 44-year-old and his family to be evacuated to a safe location during the opening days of the invasion, Mr. Zelenskyy stayed in Kiev with his defense forces. He said he was not hiding and not afraid of anyone as he led his nation's response. Times editor-in-chief Edward Fesenthal said that the magazine's decision was the most clear-cut in memory. That's the end of the headlines, man.
Thank you very much. Let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day. Sorry, trigger warning for Stacey, if she's in the chat today. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, okay? Tomorrow will be lighter, hopefully.
I can't promise that. All right, so the first thing I wanted to... All right, you know what, let me just start this way. In fact, this is kind of like a continuation of the Deion Sanders debate.
There you have it, Stacey.
Yep. And basically, a lot of discussion's been going on. There's been more that's happened since we discussed it, more that's happening right now as we speak. But it does open up a wider conversation about an idea called brain drain, right? So we'll get into that in a minute, right? But the first thing is, I kind of wanted to give an update. Well, to be fair, it's kind of one of those. It still hasn't been verified as yet, right? But coming into the studio, we did see Primetime, basically have an interview. Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't believe that that's the name we're going with. Like,
Hey, the guy's Primetime, man.
sound like a transformer, mate. Okay. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, so he's got an interview that we haven't watched this yet, but it is kind of in line with what this tweet basically talks about. And so it's a bit more to the story. So basically, this is what the situation is. Again, you need to verify the facts, and probably after the show, you guys can, look at it and whatnot. But according to the source, JSU, Jackson State University, is in the hot seat for misuse of football funds, right? So individuals basically have been stealing money from the football program by moving it to general funds / scholarships. Basically, they're stealing from Primetime and the players, right? So the money that they should be getting, they've been allocating to something else, and obviously finding their way to take from that.
Okay.
So what's happening is that apparently, according to this tweet, JSU put in Dion's contract that after 30K ticket sales, he would receive a percentage of the sales, right? That didn't happen the whole time he was there. The ticket sales got missing, basically. Dion, the football team, neither Dion, the football team, or the staff saw any of that money. Also, apparently, there was a lucrative TV deal in place that Dion wanted to get, but the university did not, right? This is Dion again setting up another opportunity for that university. Also, Dion, with his own money, built a new locker room, I mentioned this before, and tennis courts. All the new designs came out of Dion's pocket. The new players' lounge, Dion. He also used his money to feed his players as well, yeah? All of the fancy meals.
You're a damn bad boy.
All of the fancy meals that you kind of saw on the social media and whatnot, right? Feeding the players, that's him. He's spending that money,
I was
right?
even buying them boxes and pants.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, also they said that when JSU went to the Celebration Bowl last year, the school didn't give any money back to give money back to athletics. Dion used a lot of his personal money to fund numerous things around campus. The university did not help. The president wanted his name in the headlines as much as Dion, even though he ain't doing what Dion's doing. Also, Dion wanted to coach the Celebration Bowl this year. JSU president said no, and the Celebration Bowl is sold out, right? I'm not too sure what that means entirely. But yeah, there's a lot more to this, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, last minute offer was made to Dion to stay, by the way. So when people say they ain't got no money, they offered him $1 million to stay. Yeah? But from that $1 million, he had to pay his staff out of that. So anyway, yeah. So this is what this person's saying. But like I said earlier, apparently there is a what do you call it?
Interview.
Yeah, there's an interview. And so that will give a bit more context, man, because that's from his own mouth as well.
To be fair, though, not to be fair. Okay, well, actually, yeah, to be fair, the guy was in a lot, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what brain drain means, but I have a feeling he was drained. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's tiring.
Yeah.
And I think if he's not getting as much support from, as in as much help as he could have been getting, then that all of that responsibility will solely have been on him, and that's draining in itself.
Yeah, 100%. So that's just a little update. I know it's not the most informative update there is. The interview is out or will be coming out, so there'll be much more to talk about in that regard. But today's topic of the day is kind of inspired by one of our listeners who sent in a voice note. I'm just going to play it for you here, Brent, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it Jerome?
Yeah.
So
You know, nice,
why don't I
nice
just
yourself.
play it from
Okay,
Banging
cool.
outfit.
connected?
Okay, cool. I don't think you have it straight up.
Yeah. All right. And
Quick response to the guy that called in today on Dion Sanders.
Okay, I'm going to slow it down.
Yeah, make it normal speed.
Sorry.
It's not that long.
Quick response to the guy that called in today on Dion Sanders. The main reason why I support the people that are not happy with him is because he knew, and I think everybody knew, what people were expecting. You see, if Dion had stayed there for the normal tenure of a head coach, everyone would be fine, right? When he took this job, there were a lot of naysayers that said he would do exactly what he has done. Now, I'm not saying he's personally said he wouldn't do this, and I believe he's actually said that if an offer from a Power 5 school came, he would take it. I didn't know that previously. My main issue is, though, how do we get this to be less of a factor that as soon as capitalism, I should pronounce that better, does what it does, and that being a system where we have a distinct disadvantages at present that we need to correct, like how do we stop that being such a factor from alluring our best and brightest? Because he's done a lot and brought them to a great place, but he could have taken them so much further. He could have probably competed with a was it Pac 5 school, I think they call them, right? Because of the talent he would have attracted, because of the eyes he would have attracted. I believe it's extremely short-sighted what he's done. He could have built a legacy in that country and in the community across the globe, but he took the money, and I can't wrong him. I'm not saying I wouldn't make that decision, but at some point, we need to figure out a way to make that less of an issue, more broadly across the spectrum.
Cool.
Okay, do you know what it is, yeah? Why I'm getting tired? Because everybody that is saying that, okay, it appears everyone who, and this might be me, actually I think this is me too, to be fair, but that was on Monday. I'm a different person today. But everyone who criticizes his decision that he's made, follows up with, I will do the same thing. Can we just then stop? Do you get what I mean? I think at the end of the day, what people need to just accept now is that this man has done what he's done. He made the decision that he needed to make for himself. And then that's just it. Like, how do we move forward from that?
Yeah. Well, again, this is pretty much what Jerome asked me when he called in.
Yeah.
But also, it opens up the discussion with what he said in the voice note as well. And this is the whole thing about brain drain, right? So brain drain is basically when there's like the brightest in the community, those who, for example, contribute to the community in terms of intellect, in terms of skill, in terms of certain things that basically influence the community in a particular way.
Yeah.
Right? Leave the community. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's the loss of that particular skill.
That particular brain.
Exactly.
Okay.
So people who really do something in the community. So for example, actually I won't use this example just yet. But when they leave, so maybe they've come up from within the community, they benefited the community and actually benefited from the community. But then when the money comes, they leave.
Okay.
The question is, how do we combat brain drain? How do we
Get
hold
more
on?
brains.
Okay, cool.
Because then we wouldn't have to feel the impact of one person leaving so terribly if there's other people that could take over when that person leaves.
Sorry, let me elaborate a bit more. It's not about one person. It's basically all of those people.
Okay.
Why do they all leave? How do we keep hold of those people? Why is it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean. So then we've got to find out why is that they're leaving then.
There's money. Typically.
We've got to step our money game up.
But what if we can't? Because obviously if we could, assuming we could,
Okay,
we
then they
would.
won't be leaving.
Exactly.
Then in all honesty, then we need people who don't care about money. It sounds mad, but people like that exist. Where for them, it's not about the money, it's not about the rewards of what it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just about making that change, having that impact. So those are kind of brains that we need then. Because if we can't afford to bring more money in, we can't afford more money. Money is why the people are going to leave. So we need people with a different mindset. We need people who are not coming there, who are just viewing this as a job. Okay. And then when they're not getting the money, even though they might be achieving good results, when they're not getting the money, it's like, okay, I've got to leave. Unfortunately, money can't... I know money makes it... People say money makes the world go round and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
However, money cannot be your motivator because money will never be enough to motivate you for something. Even when you're paid for something, at some point, that money then becomes normal to you and then you want more and you want more. So it will never, ever end. So what we need then is people with the right... Not necessarily the right, as in like having... as in... Not saying right because wanting money is wrong, but in terms of people who are just solely like the vision is their focus.
But how is that in terms of in a practical sense? How is that possible? Because then, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to find people like that, then train them up to have those skills, that intellectual capabilities, and then thrive amongst us and then stay amongst us. You see what I'm saying?
Sounds like an algebra to me. One more time.
So it's almost like you're saying we have to find people like that before they become that way, so that they don't leave. You see what I'm saying? Because otherwise,
No, I just thought, as in find people to then make them be people that think of just vision.
yeah,
No, but I'm saying people that think of just vision, they're like that. That's how they are. So those are the kind of people that then need to be in those roles, not...
But what I'm trying to say is, if you look around, obviously we're generalizing here, right?
Yeah.
But if you look around, those are not the people in those roles, because those are the people leaving. All the best and the brightest of us leave. So Deion Sanders, for example, let's just say we believe that narrative about, the money came, he just left.
Yeah.
He's one of the best. He came, he got what he wanted from JSU.
Yeah.
He got certain experience. Apparently, he didn't want to be nobody's vice, coach or whatever it may be. And so he got the opportunity to lead, did well, got his experience, 3-4 years, bounced.
Yeah.
How do we get people like him to stay? Especially if, for example, they're already in that position. It's not like he has the mind that you're talking about already.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm trying to say. Because all these people that leave, they just leave. You know what I'm saying? So in order to have somebody who has that mind, it's almost like you have to cultivate that mind before they get to that position. I'm making sense. You get what I'm saying?
I think I get what you're saying, but I believe that people that have that mind, I don't think it's something that you have to cultivate in them.
Okay.
They're just like that.
So where are they?
That's the thing. So now that's why we've got to kind of look at that because I'm sure there are people who are like that who would have the skills. So maybe because sometimes we don't cast our net very far. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
There's an example in the chat.
Okay.
A good example is the amount of Nigerians that permanently leave Nigeria to study, get great qualifications, and never return to the country, including myself. So, how would you entice or encourage or incentivize those Nigerians to come back to Nigeria?
Do you know what it is? Yeah. For 1 year, Nigeria insists that if you're going to work in like public service or whatever it is, you got to do something called NYSC. Personally, it's like glorified slavery to me. But basically for like I think it's like a year, you go to like another country, assigned to another state, and you basically do like community work for about a year. These people get paid peanuts. Like the whole setting of it is just it's unprovoked punishment. It's not punishment, but the people that do it, they go through when they do it. That's that. So I think that with Nigeria, there's so much stuff that deters people from being able to come back. Do you get what I mean? So again, you gotta make things comfortable enough for people where they can come back without having to tick this, and know this person. With Nigeria, a lot of it is about who you know. If you take that whole mindset away, that whole mindset away, people want to go back. Because how many people want to be here? It's -2 degrees today. You think I want to be here?
I think just to be a bit fair to the Nigeria,
Yeah.
that what's it called?
NYC.
No, but what's the colloquial? Is it volunteer something service?
Yes. Youth. It's like youth. No, voluntary. It is voluntary.
Yeah, voluntary service or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that particular thing. I guess the idea, to be fair to them, the idea behind that is you've got somebody who's qualified, who now has certain skills and has to give that back to the country for at least a year. So that kind of, at least on paper, kind of helps, because it's not like they've just left straight away, especially if they want to get a job, because apparently you need to do that before you can get a job, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the country. But obviously, like you're saying, some people just don't care about that and just bounce if they get the
do you know what it is?
opportunity.
I think the idea of what they thought they were doing was smart.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is crap.
Of course.
Because you want students who paid through their noses for universities, who have spent double the time gaining this degree because of the stupid strikes that you guys have. What does the country offers people that the minimum, but wants the best out of them? You offer them the absolute minimum. You've made their lives literally draining every single day, but then you want them to come back and give to the country. For me, I think if someone goes abroad to study and they want to come back to do something that will help the country, what better way can I serve my country?
Yeah.
If not to use the skills that I've learnt elsewhere to do that. That's what a lot of other cultures do, where they go somewhere else, they learn what they learn, that they get the degrees, do all that stuff, and then they come back to their country and use it for good.
The issue is that, Esther, many don't come back. So they go, they may say they're going to come back, but once they're here, they're making the money, they got a house, they get married, they have children. Who's coming back?
But why is that though? Because what they're coming back to is
exactly,
nonsense.
100%.
So if you make sure that people are coming back to something good, there will be no reason why. Do you know what I mean? Even something like, do you know what? Okay, if you go abroad and you come back, you will get like some kind of tax discount on housing. Do you know what I mean? Like little incentives like that will make people want to come back. Of like, do you know, okay, this industry, we need people. We'll send you abroad to go and study nursing because our healthcare is in the mud. We'll send you abroad to go and study nursing, blah blah blah. Then when you come back, then this is the benefits you get from that. Do you get what I mean? But again, I understand people don't come back.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest with you, the way Nigeria is set up, I have no reason to go back there. I can't imagine myself going back there to work.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that? Do you get what I mean? So if you make something desirable enough for people to want to come back to, then of course, even if you make people feel like they have a say in how things are run, then it's like, okay, do you know what? We're all coming back to build our country, but you don't make people feel like it's our country. Nigerians say, oh yeah, Nigeria, like we love Nigeria, but how many of us actually feel like it's our country? Like we actually get a say. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think with the Dion thing, in terms of like just going back to the conversation, I feel like the people that are out there, I just think sometimes the net isn't cast wide enough. Obviously, I know I'm generalizing really and truly, but that's the only way I can see it. If it's a thing where we can't actually make more money and people are leaving because of the lack of money, what's the other option? If it's not to get people who are not so, who care more about the vision and the money.
See, 100%, I agree with what you're saying. I just wanted to say something though, Brent, about that example. I think it's a bit different when you talk about countries. Leaving countries and leaving a community is different because, like for example, like Esther said, when you leave in Nigeria, some of the reasons why you would want to leave is environmental. It's the fact that in my particular community, physically, the housing is poor, the medical system is poor. Certain things that affect your quality of life is completely in the mud. So it's like, why would I want to be here anyway? You know what I'm saying? But when you're here in London, for example, and I think this is more so what maybe Jerome's asking, in terms of our communities here in London, in America, in the West, where it's like we all have a certain level of quality of life. We all have a certain quality of life. Yeah. How do the best amongst us, how do we keep them? You know what I'm saying? And so just to make it a bit more personal, I want to ask you guys, right, in the room. Like Esther says every morning, we've got the latest hosts.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking, what you want to quote?
All of you guys are elite level. There's nobody
Amen
better
to
than
that.
TDA hosts. You know what I'm saying? But if BBC come and they say to you guys, 500k a year, a mil a year, right? What can we do as a community to keep you from going?
All right, let's not make it that wild.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right. You know what? Let's not make it that wild. All right, fine.
Because I would not.
I was salivating
Say,
at the
go,
mouth.
please.
All right, cool.
Go on. Before you go, tune in via Zoom.
Brendan should say, just text TDA.
All right, cool. Yeah, that
Wouldn't
makes
it? It
sense.
would. It was
It's-
a
They really would.
especially as TDA right now, it's not yet on the level of GB News and that. Right?
Yeah.
So let's just say they offered you 100k a year.
How could you say GB News? What's wrong with you?
Is it GB News? What's the one that
Good Morning Britain, GMB.
Yeah, sorry, that one. You know,
I
I
knew
don't
it- I knew exactly what you
I don't
meant
watch
there.
these guys.
GB News is that right wing.
Oh, is it?
Well, that's the thing. I just
See, I-
assumed you forgot the M.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one Piers Morgan and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the difference. Anyway, so
Good morning, Britain.
thank you. So how do we keep you guys?
Well, if BBC offered me 100k a year,
Yeah,
right now I can do it with 100k a year.
of course.
So the question is, can you guys match the offer, or can you promise me more? And
Okay.
what's the plan? What's the short term, long term plan?
Okay.
Like, I need to see evidence and proof that if I turn down this BBC offer, that I'm gonna get this money from you guys
Yeah.
in a certain amount of time.
Okay.
I mean-
Cool. So basically, we need to match it financially in some type of way.
Yeah,
If not now, at least in the long term.
long term, yeah. But I need like
Some proper proof contracts.
Yeah, it can't be like promises and hearsay. It has to be like, you know what I mean?
I said
Yeah,
hearsay.
It has to.
Hearsay from one mouth.
It has to be concrete. I need to see something. Give me the accounts, bro. You know what? Show me the accounts.
All right, cool. What about you, Marks?
He's like, I'm God.
I can't be kept.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a difficult one, isn't it? I think. Maybe like 100% equity.
100%.
What does that mean?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, you are such a dictator. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Sole ownership of the company.
So ownership because you're offered 100k. So ownership. I said I am the new black now. You're ridiculous.
Or at least 50-50.
Does
yeah.
equity even matter to you? Because I asked you this question the other day.
And
Yeah,
that's
it
why it
does.
matters today,
And
Brent.
no, the other day he said, no, I don't care about equity, it's about salary.
I never said that. That was regarding a certain thing. It's not, you're generalizing. That was regarding a certain issue and a certain thing. And in that issue, I'll put priority over salary. In general, equity. Why would I care about equity?
Are you asking me? Are you asking me?
I care about equity.
When it's a profitable business. Because this is the stage in which is we at right now, where groundworks, right?
Yeah.
Foundational right now. And if you are offered a stake in what you're building to forego a salary, in the meanwhile, what would you choose? Remember we had a topic of the day when it is that we asked everybody, do you bet on yourself? Would you bet on yourself?
And I always bet on myself. But if my situation
100%.
changes,
But this isn't
Then-
just betting on yourself though. This is betting on the entire team, the entire company.
yeah, I know, but still, I'm saying that if I'm in a position to work and build for that equity, then it makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say? That because obviously the juice is worth the squeeze. If your situation changes and you need capital, then you have to work within your means and within your situation. So then a salary might take priority. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just changing. You know, we live in a fluid society already, Brent.
Oh, 100%. So, in response to Emmanuel's question, what is your answer?
Oh, if I was going to get offered 100k,
Yeah.
and what, right this second?
Because essentially, he is saying that you believe in this project, you believe in Jackson State, to go to Colorado, and people would call you a sellout.
Yeah.
So this is the parallel he's making, I'm guessing, right? Would you
If-
take the 100k?
Yeah, if I'm not going to lie, actually, you know what though? Dion was moving cold. Especially because I watched the interview did he do? Was it the Pivot podcast? and he was really pushing for the HB.
See you.
Like really, you get me? Like even when Shannon and them, I was saying like, brother, you can't expect man to go to them colleges there. You need to go to the top ones. Boom, boom, boom. He was pushing back, saying, no, this is the attitude is the problem. You get me? So he was doing a lot. You get me? So I hear them, but
taking a while to answer this question. Damn.
no, because I think I would have done what he done.
Okay, cool.
So you would take the BBC job, yeah?
Yeah.
Break down the 100K though, and like, how was the pay structure working? Because 100K sounds a lot when you just say it, yeah, but when you break it down,
It's an annual salary.
When it's
into your monthly salary
Yeah.
or how you getting paid, and then plus the tax, it's like it doesn't sound that great when you actually put it into perspective, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so up it from 100K.
about $5,000 a month taxes.
Yeah,
and
so
all.
let's just say after tax.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just did a rough estimate. It's
Okay,
about
cool.
8,300 and something a month.
Okay, but after tax about 5 something.
Yeah, because you know the taxing mad.
Just
Yeah.
bear in mind, this
The thing is, $5,000 a month isn't life changing money.
No,
You know what I'm trying to say? But it's better than getting zero a month.
exactly. Exactly.
bear in mind, this is not the case for all these BBC presenters.
Yeah.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
It is. If you're prime time, then you're getting even more than that.
Yeah, of course,
especially
yeah.
off the back of sponsorships and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the regular DJ,
Yeah, exactly. But considering you come from TDA, you know what I'm saying? So obviously they know this is going to be the future, and they know you guys are going to be the future. So it's like, cool. In order for us to stay relevant, BBC appeal
Let's
to the
poach,
black.
yeah.
Let's come and get you guys.
Yeah.
So 100K, you said pretty much, if we can match it, then you'd stay. All right, cool.
You don't have to match it
To
right
the-
this second,
Yeah. Sorry.
but as in
Or in the long term too.
But what's long term though?
You tell
it
me.
might have to be medium term. Then I mean,
Okay, cool.
Medium term.
say
for
about 2 or
example,
3 years?
if I got offered 100K from BBC tomorrow,
Yeah.
you say, "Use, don't worry." At the end of 2024, you can match that.
Okay.
That's too long of a wait.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? So it depends when you say, okay, cool, we can start paying you that amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's too far in the future, then I'll probably have to take the BBC job. If it's short term or medium term, if it's something that I can kind of wait for,
Yeah.
then you know what I mean, I'll be more inclined to
to do so.
do so. You know what I mean?
Okay. And Mark, you also said obviously like you probably bounce as well. But how can we keep you?
You're screwed.
because equity means nothing. Because equity means nothing.
Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Gotta be something. Motherfucker punch you in the mouth.
But this is the literal situation in that Dion and the HBCUs were in. This is the actual conversation that's happening. Do you understand? This is the actual plight.
So what do you want them to offer Dion equity?
Well, that's one of the things that he could have been offered.
Okay.
Well, someone but if he asked for that, if he got offered it, cool. But if he asked for that, how would that have been received?
Well, it depends on if it is they want to keep him or not. And I
Yeah, but even the people
I
that's
doubt they would have looked to give him equity.
what about the people then? Not even like what about the people that like the people that are moaning the actual just the general public? How do you think they would have received that if he asked for equity in the HSB? Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but they shouldn't be complaining if it is he's saying I would like to stay, but I would like to be remunerated for my
troubles.
influence. Yeah.
Okay. So but
For example, the story, Yusuf, with Joe Budden, right? How many years had they been podcasting before they were a household name?
Before they became a household name, or just before they got the Spotify deal-ish time.
Let's say it's both of them.
So I would say
About 3-4 years.
maybe about 3-4 years.
Okay.
3-4 years.
And I think I remember your side on that particular argument because they helped to build that particular show to where it was, right?
Yeah.
And you felt they should have been given a profit share, profit split. It shouldn't have been they were his employees.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. How about you?
Whatever they agree to.
Oh, it's whatever they agree to.
in the beginning.
Yeah, if they're earning money, it doesn't matter. They're earning good money. People always want to get involved in other people's business. If they agreed to it and they was happy with the salary and they're earning good money, they ain't got nothing to fucking moan about. Shut up and take your money.
And was that the case? I can't remember the story.
I'm not sure. If the thing is, if
No, I
more,
think they said that there was more money than they were receiving. So there was more money going around.
Yeah.
So they're basically not getting what should have been getting.
But was it a case where they were his employees, or was it a case where it was a profit split, but they weren't getting all the profit?
They wasn't employees though.
They weren't employees.
Yeah, I don't
think they were
remember
employees, and then
every single aspect of it.
Yeah, I think they were employees, and then they clocked what they could have been. They were definitely employees. I think they agreed to being employees, and then they clocked how much was coming in, and they're like, "Oh, but we helped build this together." And it's like, yeah, but that's not why you weren't hired as an equal. You were hired as an employee. So that's where the egos and everything.
Okay, all right, cool. So 3 to 4 years, they helped build this. Now let's forget that it was the case that they were employees, right? Because that's, for me, it's clear cut. But let's just say it wasn't the case, and they had just got together, put it for 3-4 years, then got to the stage where now Spotify is coming in, and big money is starting to be talked about. If you were Rory and Mal, wouldn't you want to basically have equity, knowing full well what that means?
Yeah.
As opposed to just a salary as an employee.
Of course.
How about you, Marks?
Yeah, I guess so.
And obviously it helped that Joe Budden was Joe Budden, right? He had a head start from the very beginning.
Yeah, of course,
That's probably one of the arguments that he was making, right?
Yeah.
I put you guys on.
Yeah.
So instead, you would have still wanted an equity stake in that, though.
Yeah.
Because
things have changed now.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
All right, cool. So in that
Maybe
sense,
not, because they might not have. They wouldn't even have known what they was going to. So if you can offer someone money here and now, then that's different, because they don't know what the pod was going to be. So equity of what? What are you offering me equity of? There's nothing. There's nothing here. If you can give me something tangible right now, money. Why wouldn't they take that? I don't understand.
bear in mind, I believe they had money anyway, right? They had money enough to basically live, right, and thrive. Each of them came from their own respective heights, I believe, Rory and Mal.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they definitely made a lot more money.
Oh, 100%. I hear that, but they
by
weren't
themselves.
scraping the bottom of the barrel for the money.
No,
I
we
don't
don't
know
know what their financial situation
I don't
was,
know.
to be totally honest with you. We have no clue.
Rory,
All right, let's just
He
say they
wasn't-
were scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
But they still agreed to come on just as employees, right?
By the way, someone said in the chat here that they weren't employees, that basically it was Rory that started it with Joe, and then Mal came afterwards.
yeah, but Rory started it with more. Rory starting the pod didn't mean that they were equals, innit?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, true, of course.
Yeah.
There was some kind of profit share agreement that they've supposed to have had or something like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
So
Like,
it wasn't employees then?
I don't know whether they had equity in the company or whatever, but I think the way they was,
Or just the profit share?
yeah, I think there was supposed to, because they said that they had some agreement for that they were supposed to be able to look over the accountings and see all this stuff. So I think there was some kind of profit share agreement.
And there was a
thing in
discrepancy of how much profit they were getting based on what it is they were putting up.
Yeah, I
basically.
believe so.
Maybe.
All right,
So many different stories
Cool.
going around. It's
Cool. So 4 years they put in before big money, quote unquote, came in because they believed that this would be a sure thing. Again, him being Joe Budden, it helps. Them having an audience, it helps. So it was easier for them to get on board, right? So now this is a bit more difficult because one would assume that because we have Mark's hair, it means something, right? This guy has the goal to say he wants 100% equity.
If Mark's got 100% equity, and he'll be out there doing a timesheet of everyone's arrival time. You know what I'm
But
saying?
he would take it more seriously, right?
I'm saying.
Imagine. That's your colleague.
He put words in my mouth, by the way. You know.
I don't know how it was.
You know he's
So,
silly.
all right, cool. Anyway,
Like committee.
Esther, what would it take to keep you?
I definitely would want ownership.
You would want ownership.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but I need to be on the board. I need to be when you start having meetings.
Yeah.
I'm there too. I think I would definitely want. I would want to move from status of host
Okay.
to some form of ownership in terms of the day after and the new black.
TMB.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez, I'm
For
surprised.
100K.
Okay.
You guys asking
Yeah,
for a lot
exactly,
for
for
100K.
100K.
No,
you know?
no, but it also it depends. You said closed mouths don't get fed.
No, I hear you,
If
but
I ask and you say
I'm
no,
just
that's
thinking-
fair.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
come up for something else.
Okay.
But again, it depends on how long it is that you're saying. So if they're offering me 100K now, and you're saying, do you know what? Again, because obviously we know things take time off to kick. So it's like, do you know what? 3 years time.
Yeah.
In 3 years time, obviously I would have grown in this role, blah blah. And if BBC offered me 100K over those years, I'm gonna get other offers. God believe in your source. Do you get what I mean? So what we're starting year one with 100K, by year 4, I'm not gonna be worth 100K anymore.
Of course not. Yeah.
So that's why I can't just be like, okay, you know what, just a nice TDA. No. Let's get in the bigger pot.
Okay, so what if I say to you that you guys come and sit down and you're like, look, this is what we want instead, right? All of the things you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, look, if we give this to you, this is what's gonna happen to TDA. This is what's gonna happen to the company, right?
The company's gonna die.
It's not gonna die,
Oh, okay.
but basically all the everything that you guys get is what we would put into more investment to expand TMB.
Okay, yeah.
To expand, so we'll have 5 TDAs, obviously doing different things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We have more different shows, probably be in the building, right? Different things.
Yeah.
And you hear this,
Yeah.
and you guys know us, so you know we ain't lying to you,
Yeah.
right? Cool. So it's written down on the sheet, and you guys see it.
Yeah.
Do you still sit there and say, "This is what I want, guys"?
But how long is it going to take? For
What do
me,
you mean?
it's about time.
Okay, cool. But you said 2 years is too long.
2 years without getting paid, yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's just say
With 100K offer on the line, of course, yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's just say your expenses is covered, all your expenses.
Okay.
You can't do like Enish lunch though, like just
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For 2 years, just expenses covered.
yeah,
And then all the other stuff that you mentioned. As in,
yes.
depends. Depends.
Okay, cool. What about you guys?
I think with me, I will. Okay, if you say this is how it's gonna affect the bigger business, blah blah,
Yeah.
I'll go down.
Okay.
So I want some kind of rights. Then you gotta meet me halfway. So I want some kind of rights or some kind of just a bigger position outside of being a host. So now outside of me doing the entertainment stuff, obviously my skills, blah blah, but I want some form of ownership now with TDA. You can allow you must be able to give me that. We have to meet halfway.
Okay.
If TMB, fair enough, but with TDA, yeah.
Okay. And let's just say we actually say, so before we even got to that part, right, we're like, look guys, as you know, we're trying to,
You're
push
building,
this,
blah, blah,
building
yeah.
this and the third, and we actually can't do more than we're doing now. So literally it's just expenses. It's either expenses or you guys take the 100K. We still love you guys, but take the 100K.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I would honestly, because I don't get involved in things that I genuinely don't believe in. And I think knowing what this would achieve, like, because first of all, I got asked why it is that BBC want me as well. Do you get what I mean? Don't be out here using me to get a black company, whatever. But I think, I think I can actually see myself going through with it,
As in what? As in
riding out for a while.
Okay, cool.
Because again, I'm seeing that as like we will have to have a serious meeting where I'm getting the projections. Like I'm seeing on paper what the estimates of where this is going to be in let's say run with 2 years.
Yeah.
In 2 years' time. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
But again, I'm not forgetting that if I'm being offered 100K now, in 2 years' time, my price is gonna be this price is not gonna be 2 years' time price.
Of course.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a thing where, okay, business-wise, I think I would then want to get into the business side of things.
Okay.
Outside of me being a host and me just coming here and relying on you guys to feed information to me, I would want to now be involved in how it is that we're trying to achieve the things that we're trying to achieve. The things that TDA wants to achieve, the things that TMB wants to achieve. Fair enough, you might not be able to give me a seat on the board.
Yeah.
But I'm more involved with the business side of things to make sure then that I am actually
Gonna
in the
get
right
something.
place, and you guys are actually doing what you need to do to get me there, to give me what it is that you said you're going to give me.
Okay.
Friends
Very
killing me.
fair. Very fair.
Where you're like,
No, I think it's interesting because I think what he's also stipulating is that
yeah.
they had kind of headhunted you guys from seeing your talent on here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
they're like, oh my goodness, this would be great over here.
Yeah.
And in plucking you, this now drops. And this is the issue in which we're discussing today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If that continues to happen all the time, there was never a continued push towards building this thing that all the white organizations, I'm not giving you equity, by the way, they're just paying you peanuts in the whole grand scheme of things. But this is never given this opportunity to basically thrive.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Because why did BBC want me all of a sudden?
I mean, no, but they see your greatness though. It's not just to be like, oh, we're gonna do the Black Community Day. It's because we can benefit from your greatness.
Yeah, but you know what though? For me though, that is kind of, I don't know. I think I'm not as pro-black as you are. So where I can be pro-black, I will be pro-black. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
Much to my convenience, basically. I'm a convenient pro-black activist. Do you get what I
Okay.
mean? So for me,
I think we all are, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know how
But
pattern?
I say my truth.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna like Brent E, man. Listen, I got 100k on the line or offer from BBC. How can we make this work? I don't want to leave TDA or TMB. Let's figure something out. That's what I'll do. That's what I'm like. I'll try and balance both somehow.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be like, okay, cool. I
Peace.
got this offer from BBC. I'm out. I'll be like, yo, I'm taking this job. I need this money, but what can we do to pattern my situation to where I'm still involved? Simple.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you're basically saying you will go, but you still want to be involved.
Yeah, of course.
So potentially in the future, you come back.
Yeah, I'll try and make it work at the same time. What is the BBC job? Is it the same hours? Is it?
Let's
is
just
it 5
say it's
days
the
a
same
week?
hours.
If it's the same hours,
Yeah.
obviously I'm still involved in TMB anyway.
True.
So I'm not leaving the company as a whole. I might just leave the show, but I'll still find a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could do like I can record videos and send in the rotation as a separate recording.
Okay.
Maybe limit my role to being just that on a Monday, whatever. I'll try to make it work somehow, innit? You know what I mean?
I mean, that sounds fair.
Yeah,
that sounds
yeah.
fair.
But
Because
they wouldn't allow
obviously-
you that though.
Who's that?
As in BBC, it's within your contract. You can't be with anybody else.
No, there's BBC people who do other stuff.
Okay, but you know, that's actually a good point. Let's just say it wasn't your contract because
now you're just trying to add
no.
layers
The reason why I'm saying
to
that,
ruin my stance.
the reason why I'm saying it is because we know TMB is for the progression of black people.
Yeah.
So there's going to be certain things that you say here, you ain't going to say elsewhere. So they're like, look, we can't have our hosts doing messy stuff.
Yeah.
So behave and stay here. You know what I'm saying? If this was one of those,
You get fired on the first hour. You're done. So you just step in the middle. What's up, kitty? Get out. Get out.
so they may say something like that to you, right?
Yeah.
But also, right, just in terms of kind of go back to what Esther was saying earlier, in terms of finding those people who care more about the vision.
Yeah.
Are you kind of saying? Actually, no. You guys you kind of said your positions. Are you kind of saying economics trumps the vision for you? Number one, and number two, how do we find those people? Because if those people, for example, obviously not trying to put us all on a pedestal,
Yeah.
but we care about the vision. That's why we're here. This is
Yeah.
why we do what we do on a day-to-day
Yeah.
and sacrifice what we do. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So imagine us here, we care about the vision, but economics is still pulling us out to go and work with the BBC. What hope do we have as a community?
Everybody's situation is different.
That's the
man.
thing.
That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's what the thing is, because it's needs must. So if your needs currently trump the vision,
Then
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do, man. I'm not gonna knock anyone for taking care of themselves, innit, and doing what's best for them at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's different. You might have someone who doesn't need the 100k a year. So
True.
fuck the BBC. I'm staying right here.
True.
Someone else might need the money. I gotta go. I can't rely on your promises that this vision is
100%.
going to be fulfilled. It might not be fulfilled. Not all visions are fulfilled.
It's
Not
true.
all promises are fulfilled. Not all projects are seen to the end. But what I just got to have the blind hope that this will. And there's guaranteed money here. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't knock anyone for doing what's best for them. It is what it is.
Situation.
100%. It leads on to another question, Emmanuel,
Yes.
and to the room, right?
In the mic.
I think so. I think
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys feel about capitalism. I don't know if it is that you like how it is. Let's take for example Amazon.
I don't
how
like
they've-
it.
How big they've been moving, right? And they're just swallowing all
You know
competition.
they're doing braids now.
Braids.
Yeah.
They're doing everything.
There's Amazon like
there's
salons.
Amazon hairdressers, the salons.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'm gonna try it out later.
They want the whole economy, right? So I don't know how you all feel about capitalism
Mm.
and capitalist organizations, right? But Emmanuel would TMB need to be moving like a capitalist organization in order to push our plight where it needs to be and for it to be sustainable?
Simple answer, yes.
Explain.
This is what I said to you from the very beginning. Remember, I said this the other day as well. I said building TMB.
Before you continue,
Yeah.
because this is going to be a real thing.
I know.
Once it is TMB's
Yep.
up, because we would need to be keeping the best and the brightest.
Facts.
We would need to be poaching the best and the brightest because this plight is far more important, right?
Yeah.
And we're starting from way back at the starting line. Everybody's already sprinting.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Yep.
So wouldn't we need to adopt that particular mentality?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about all across the board, mind you. In order to push this through.
When you say adopt that particular mentality, as in the capitalist mentality, and again, to answer your question very simply, I'd say yes. Because this is what I was saying to you before, right? I've looked at the black community. I've seen certain things in the past and I've come to a conclusion that, like I said before, economics rules it all. Like Mark just said, depending on your circumstance, if the money's there, it makes sense to take it. No matter how big the vision is, people have families.
Yeah.
People have kids to feed, and even if you've got enough to feed your kids and your children, your partners and whatnot, there's still a certain quality of life you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you then tell somebody, listen, stay with us for the benefit of the black community? How?
Well, do you know what it is though?
I'm not
For
gonna lie.
me,
Don't lead with that sentence to me, boy.
Exactly.
But do you know what it is for me though? Like, honestly, not everybody's like that.
No, Esther, I don't want to cut you. Please remember what you want to say.
Okay.
Right? But the thing is, right, even though I shouldn't lead like that,
Yeah.
essentially that's all it is. Essentially.
Yeah, but-
like if you take the time, you go home, you think, what am I weighing up here? The benefit of the black community, because I'm doing my part in preventing brain drain from occurring, or me getting a bigger house, me doing okay during this cost of living crisis, me feeding my kids, putting them in private school, me not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's essentially
I
what
know,
it
but
is.
someone leaving a particular position doesn't mean that they can't do other things to benefit the black community. So if I left TDA to go on BBC, doesn't mean that that's it now. I can no longer affect the black community in a
black.
positive way.
No, you're 100% correct. And I'm glad you said that, because I think we also mentioned that about Dion as well.
Yeah.
You could do things
Yeah.
in other ways. But the reality is, and again, I'm not trying to belittle that other thing that you can do,
Yeah.
right? But the reality is, we like Yusuf on TDA. So we like you here.
Yeah.
We don't like Yusuf behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So the 100K wasn't for Yusuf to be behind the scenes at the BBC. It was, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this is why we want to keep you in this particular capacity. So how do we do it?
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
gonna
yeah.
go back to what when you were saying about like
Cash
how
rules
can
everything
that be enough? I
around
think for
and
some people it really can be, you know.
Yes, okay.
Because when you think about like all the fighters, Martin Luther King and all them other guys and stuff, I'm sure there was stuff that, you know, do you know what I mean? I'm sure they had other things that would have benefited them in a way where they didn't have to carry on this plight and didn't have to carry on these struggles. But I think sometimes when you want to achieve something, you have to make sacrifices. Nice. And of course, everyone's situation is different, of course. But there are people who understand that to achieve something, you got to make sacrifices. And so you just got to make cuts where you can and do it's not a comfortable journey sometimes to achieving what you want to achieve. Do you get what I mean? So it's hard to find those people because people like that are very few.
Yeah.
However, they do exist.
Okay.
So for someone, I know, because you mentioned about how can you say to someone, you can't give them money, whatever, all you can bring to the table to them is this vision.
Yeah.
There's people that's enough for them.
I agree with you.
But it's hard to find those people.
Exactly.
But my thing is that, I feel like in the conversation we're forgetting that these people do exist.
Yeah.
They do exist.
Thank you. I'm going to come back to that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I don't, please remind me. Right?
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
But,
Good morning.
yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Who are we speaking to, please?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's Demi.
Oh, hi,
Nice
Demi.
to
Yes, Demi. What are you saying? Right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
Bless,
Good,
bless.
thank
Thanks.
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in on this conversation. I find it really interesting actually because I was in the chat, I was in the comments, and I was looking at certain stuff, and a few people were talking about this whole black community thing, and I wanted to kind of ask you guys how you feel, because obviously you're talking about how we can advance the black community and things of that that nature and stuff, and I'm thinking, do we actually think there is a black community in the UK? Do we think there is one black community, and are we all pulling towards the same thing? Because I don't know if I actually see it that way, and I think even if we look at our actions as black people in the UK, I think you'll probably suggest that I don't think that there is one black community. I don't know how you guys feel about that thought.
Okay. I think that makes perfect sense, and I see definitely why you would say that, right? But at the same time, to kind of hit it from a different angle, I think there is some sense of community, because when a black person thrives, like a Nella Rose or a Zizi, black people come together to say, yo, well done. You know what I'm saying? You represent us in some type of capacity. So I think there is that some sense of community there. I don't think it's just a everyone do their own thing type thing. I think there's still a link. You know what I'm saying? It may not be as strong as, let's just say, or as isolated as in America, but I think there's something.
Yeah, because I think I'm glad you mentioned America, because I think we do this thing where we like conflate the two sometimes. Not to say that I don't feel that black people in the, because I don't, when I look at black people in the UK, I don't see us as one. I'm not gonna lie, right? So for instance, even yesterday, you lot were talking about, for instance, Nigerians, you're talking about Yorubas, you're talking about Igbos, like we're talking about people that have different interests, different backgrounds, blah blah blah, like all this kind of stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. And like where we're coming from, like we're not coming from the same place. Like, or you see, like for instance, you'll see a bunch of these, like when you, let's say you see black people that have completely different interests, like that don't really align with each other, like a lot of the time. And like when we talk about all these issues, you'll find that people will be like, a lot of people, and when we talk about, okay, we come together and celebrate, I think that's mainly like, let's say young people, when we're talking about, oh, we see Elena Rose doing what, and we come together and like celebrate black people. But if you think about the older generation, for example, like I don't think they're really bothered about all this black community stuff, because I think in America, for example, they have like a shared history of like obviously coming from slavery, having all that like Jim Crow stuff done against them. Like they are one community, because that African American identity, right, has become like one, like that is one thing now, like obviously over the hundreds of years that they had that. But with us black British, I don't know if that's one thing. Like, I don't think black British is one thing, like as we're claiming it to. Obviously, I want black people all together to do well, but I just don't think we're in a space in the UK where we are one people and we're ever going to have like one. Because the reason I even bring this up is because a few days ago, you lot were talking about something similar, where like bringing people on code and like educating like black voices and stuff. And that was what made me think about this. Like, and obviously, you know, you have this conversation all the time, but it just made me like curious to think that I just don't know if we'll ever get there, because I don't think we're like doing one thing, especially in the UK. But other than that, that was just my thought. I just wanted to like get you guys' opinion on it, basically.
All right, thank you very much. I do believe that it's fact. What we're saying is fact, right? There are many different people within this particular black British mix up that all think differently. Mm-hmm. But when we are opposed to, let's say, racism, mm-hmm. there needs to be a consensus.
Facts.
Because they all see us as one anyway. Yep. When it comes to us seeing Bukayo Saka miss a penalty and everybody gets onto him, there needs to be a consensus. Mm-hmm. Because, again, he's representative of all black people in Britain anyway. Do you understand? So 100%, it's impossible for any of us to lie. Well, we can lie, but we shouldn't lie and say that all of us want the same thing, live the same way, think the same way, because that doesn't happen. And that doesn't happen back home anyway, when it's predominantly black people anyway, of one particular kind. That doesn't happen back home. So...
and that's where I'm drawing all of this stuff from, yeah.
With this staying on code conversation, I think it was just fixating on the entertainment industry as opposed to on mass. Mm. And this particular topic or theme in the entertainment industry is we are all seen as one by the rest of them anyway. We need our own federation so that when it is one of us, doesn't matter which island we come from, which country we come from in a continent, once we are here in Black Britain, we look to represent and stand by that Black Brit. Do you understand? We don't have a federation like that. We don't have a consortium like that. And this is why you can have certain blacks being puppeted in mainstream media saying there's no racism in this country. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So that's how I answer that particular question. You are right. We are all different. We're not a monolith. Mm-hmm. And that fact is used in order to keep us divided on certain things that are very important to us.
Yeah. But then this is, and I completely agree with a lot of what you said, Brent, actually. But I think this is where I don't think that fact is used against us. I think that fact is just plays out naturally to kind of work against this common interest. So I don't think I would agree that it's necessarily used against us. And the reason I say that is because when you think of a community, just like you said, usually when you think of a community, there's usually a place for this community to meet. There's usually like certain appointed leaders. There's usually like things that they have in common that you can easily point to. So for instance, when you guys were talking about, obviously, I think we're talking about the Jewish community not too long ago, right? Like, they have a strong sense of community. They have like, and the reason I think they have a strong sense of community is because, for instance, as a Jewish person, like especially if you're a practicing Jewish person, right, you have to go to a synagogue like every week, whatever. In that way, you have a place of congregation, a place of meeting where people can disseminate ideas consistently. You can be in fellowship with each other. Like you can. So when I think of communities, I think of things where they're actually tangible, where you can have a place to like share ideas with these people and disseminate information regularly. I just feel like as quote unquote black people in the UK, we don't have that. Like I think we have that within our.
We had that. We had Saturday schools. They've removed those. We had youth centers. They've removed those. Do you understand? So when you say that it's not purposefully done, I believe it is. I believe it definitely is. And that's just my opinion, Demi. That's just my opinion.
But when you think about something like that, then, like say with the youth centers and all that stuff, yeah, and that was taken away. Were you saying that was taken away to break the black community?
The gathering.
Okay, the gathering. Yeah, so then don't you think that as a community we could have come and done it again?
100%.
We should have. Because I hear people complain about that a lot for years. Yeah. But it's like, okay, where do we move forward with this?
It always lands down to funding. Do you understand? And this is why I was telling Emmanuel with TNB, would we need to move on a capitalistic like, do you understand? Because that's the only way we have sustainable funds coming in to redistribute this cash where it needs to go.
Yes.
Yeah, but just to kind of add to that conversation as well about the youth centers and all this, these are all like these were all publicly funded things, weren't they? Were they not? Yeah. So, and I assume that a lot of these programs were sort of targeted at sort of lower income people. Am I correct or incorrect about this? The only thing I would say about that then is when I talk about the community again, I would argue that, for instance, not all or a lot of black people aren't necessarily within that social stratification. So again, would that not be something that aimed at like people of like working class backgrounds rather than black people again as this whole community? Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry, repeat it. Are you saying that not all?
So what I'm saying that is that a lot of these publicly funded programs, if they were bringing black people together, they were bringing black people of a certain ilk together. They weren't bringing. So you wouldn't see like affluent black people, like a bunch of affluent black people in there. And for instance, in the synagogue example I gave, you're seeing like CEOs of companies in the synagogue with your average Joe from down the street in the synagogue. Like that's a whole community. Like you get like. But I get the principle behind what you're saying, but I'm still arguing that I still don't think even that would be bringing a whole community together, because that's still only one section of community that's underprivileged people in that community, whereas there might still be other stuff going on in people that have a lot more money, or there might be other stuff going on with people within a specific religious aspect of that community. So for instance, I would argue, so you see what I'm saying? So I would say, like, for instance, black people who are Muslims that go to the mosque every week, that's a community, because those are black Muslims in the UK that regularly meet each other. Black Christians, Pentecostal Christians specifically, or Yorubas or Igbos that have their like usual weekly meet, like they have actual associations that you can point to the leaders, you can point to the meetings that they're doing. I would argue that those are the communities, and I definitely agree that we should try and have one voice as black people, but I'm saying that I think this might be why we might not have one. And I'm not saying it's a positive or negative. I'm just saying that maybe we should look more into this, because otherwise we'll just like, because I think we do this thing in like the entertainment industry and space where we think that because we're reaching a lot of people, it means that we're connecting these people, but we're not necessarily connecting. We're just talking, like until we like actually like do things where we're like you say, obviously like the Saturday schools, but maybe like bringing things together a bit more, like bringing in the whole community. So that's why like you might see black people say like crazy stuff online. You're like, how can you even say that as a black person? And that's because they don't even live the same experience and they don't think the same way as you, because of course they don't, because they're just not even in the same community as you, but you think they are because they look like you. Do you know what I mean? That's basically it.
Yeah, and so I don't want it to be misunderstood. I'm all about self-reliance, right? I'm all about making sure that we look after ourselves and build these particular organizations or think tanks. I'm all about that. I'm not relying on the government to basically set up these federations and and consortiums. I am saying that we should look to do that. And even, as you say, this hasn't happened before. That's fine, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't happen. These proof of concepts need to happen in order to show that, okay, this is why it's good to have a consortium of black minds who are influential, corralling the people to go this way or to think this way. Do you understand? And for me, that's my ultimate vision and plight.
Yeah.
This is why it is. I wake up each morning and say, all right, cool, it didn't exist before, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. And I could see that it needs to exist because this particular thing, this poison, continues to affect us whilst we say, we are not one people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I would rather stop talking and stop complaining and actually do.
Facts.
Fair play. Yeah, no, I totally hear you, Brandon. I think, ultimately, I think that should be the goal. But I'm just saying, like, the way we talk and the way we think now suggests that there already is one. And I think we probably need to do a lot more work to get to that point where there actually is one. But I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah, we've seen how it is. The Jewish Federation or the insert any other body of people here can change things. If it is somebody within their community or a particular ideal or principle that eats away at the heart of what they believe in has been threatened, we can see what happens, and all we do. Yeah, we run social media and Twitter. That's all we do. We like to talk.
Exactly.
We like to talk.
Exactly.
That's very sad.
It's a shambles. But you know what? Yeah, and it's a good point. What Demi said, and we spoke about this before. I do think though it is somewhat unfair to kind of compare us. I know you're not fully doing this anyway, but compare us to, like, let's say the Jews and other communities, because they are literally one people. Black people, we're not one people. Like we're so many different cultures, so many different countries that we've come from, and we all live in the same area. That's literally it. Jews, like you said, they go to the synagogue, they read one book, they have one God. Every single thing is the same. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter where you come from. They just say Jews. What is black? You know what I'm saying? But in the same way, I still feel like there is hope for us to kind of unite as a community, because in the same way you have. This may not be the best analogy in the world, right? But in the same way you may have certain conflicts between, let's say, a Londoner and someone from Birmingham and Manchester and Liverpool. When it comes to coming up against a country like a France or a Germany or something, everyone just sees themselves as English. So in the same way, if we can highlight, with lack of a better word, the enemy, the person that we're coming...
The common thing that we're going against.
Yes, exactly, right? I think... if that's at the forefront of everyone's mind, then that will be something to unify us. You know what I'm saying? And also another thing that I despise about black people, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, right, is we're too reactionary. There's no proactivity. We come together for marches. Someone beats us up, someone kills us, we come together for marches. Why is there no march? Because there's just nothing happening. Because we want to do something for ourselves. Let's march so that, you know what, let's raise money, let's do something positive for us. Why is it always in response to someone doing something to us? You know what I'm saying? You're always on the back foot if that's the case. Always. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
No, it's true. It's true. No, and I hear it. Yeah. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go on, Demi.
No, I was just going to say, I totally agree with that. And I think, because even like in the places that we're coming from, right, we don't see each other as one anyway, to be fair. Like, we're all coming from, like, if we're, obviously I'm Nigerian, so I'm going to talk about from that aspect. So, like, even from there, like, it's not like we're looking at other black people that are within different ethnicities and going, these are like we obviously, like, growing up, like, I was born in Nigeria, and like growing up, like, I didn't think that other black people were like, I just thought these are Igbos, these are Hausas, these are whatever. Like, I didn't really, do you get what I mean? Like, I didn't really make a distinction that these are people that I don't, not that I don't care for them, but how do I put it? Like, it wasn't even a consideration. Obviously, when you get here, things become a bit different because they lump you together as one set of people. But I wasn't having that thinking. Like, I didn't know I was black, quote unquote, till I even like got here, basically. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's probably the same feeling that a lot of, let's say, older people might have, and that's probably why we are where we are, I think. But yeah.
So before, because obviously we have to move on and stuff here. But before you go, Demi, I want to ask you. Obviously, we spoke about all the issues and stuff. In terms of a solution, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. How do we combat brain drain. How do we how do we solve the issue? Because obviously it is an issue.
Yeah, no, it's a massive issue. I think, in a really simplistic way, I think the easiest thing we can do is actually identify whether or not. Basically, I think we need to, just like, I don't know if you guys, because I've not been listening through the whole morning, but I think the easiest thing to probably do is actually have an agreement between us all as black. I don't know how this would work, like, practically, but like, as in us all as black people actually signing up to this thing and going. To some extent, I believe that in the UK, we need to have an actual official black community. Like, I know this sounds stupid, like, because we in our minds already do, but I'm saying, like, let's have something basically on paper that says we actually all come together and we all believe that. Obviously, we don't have to believe in the exact same thing, but we believe in this idea of this one thing, and then we can also appoint certain people that represent this one thing. Because until then, it's like, that's the reason you have political parties. That's the reason you have interest groups or pressure groups that focus on, for instance, people that are interested in Just Stop Oil or whatever, like, they will sign up, like in climate change, they will sign up to Just Stop Oil or Extinction Rebellion or whatever. You join these pressure groups because you all have a common idea and goal. Like, you might not be the same in every aspect, but you then give the certain leaders of this community power to kind of represent your interest in the broader sphere, whatever. So I think until we actually do that, like in an official-ish sense where people can go, these are the leaders of the black community in the public sphere, so they have to, like, one, engage with these people, and then two, these people engage with us and they actually represent our ideas, and we are maybe democratically able to vote them. I know, again, this is all a bit mad, like, it sounds a bit over the top, but I think having that kind of group, that actual physical representation in the public sphere is what is gonna, one, create a sense of more identity, and then two, it then is able to, like, so the people that are prominent within our groups can be like, oh, okay, I've become a leader in this group, so it makes it difficult to be like, oh, I'm just not going to support them anymore, because publicly now you represent that a bit more. Hope that, that makes sense, basically what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, it makes perfect sense. All right, thank you very much.
So that's, cool, thank you guys.
Have a nice day,
I appreciate it.
This call. Thank you very much.
Thank you, you too. Thanks, bye.
All right, guys. Obviously, we have to move on.
We sure do.
But I guess we didn't really come up with the solution. But I think I just wanted to say, I think personally, like I said to you, Ben, before, when you was asking about capitalism thing, I think economics is going to rule the day. People are always going to go with what suits them. You know what I'm saying? But I do think, like Esther was saying, there are people who do have that vision. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, obviously to varying degrees, but everyone in this room has that vision. Everyone has, and it does it every single day, sacrifices certain things, their time and their money to come here to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I think, personally, obviously, I don't want to big up the New Black too much. But essentially...
This is our platform. You damn right, big us out.
Thank you.
The heck?
But basically, what I mean, the reason why I said it is because, just to say, we're living it. You know what I'm saying? We're talking and we're doing every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that blueprint is, if people out there watching, that's something that they can follow. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's also the whole education thing. So when Jerome asked the first time, I think personally is the whole education thing, highlighting that, you know what, even though we have different aims and objectives, different interests as people, we're Caribbean, we're Trinidadian, we're Jamaican, we're Nigerian, we're Ghanaian, like, essentially, the things that we're coming up against, we're all seen as one. We're all black. And so I think for the benefit of our families, our children going forward, those we kind of leave behind in the hood and things of that nature, like, we need to somewhat come together in some type of capacity and just do for self. And I think the whole highlighting, putting in the forefront of everyone's mind that it's us against them. I know it doesn't sound very nice, but I think that's the reality. To me, obviously, you guys know I'm not a full-blown integrationist, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, but I feel like that mentality of understanding it is us against them, because that is the game that's being played right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of use this analogy. It's kind of like everyone playing football, or at least you come to a particular game, you're playing football, and the other team's playing rugby. You know what I'm saying? There's one ball, but they're using their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an advantage they have, but you're sticking to the rules. You know what I'm saying? This is what I think we're doing. We're thinking, everyone sees us the same, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? We're not the same as them, and our problems are different. And I think the sooner we come together and recognize that we're all in this alone, I think that's one of the things that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because then I think people will be more willing to sacrifice because they realize it's not just about self, it's about all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But, yeah.
then I don't know, man. It seems like an endless cycle to me. I think whilst everyone can think it's not just about myself, when the topic of money comes up, which is a big thing, people do think for themselves. So how exactly do we really make out the hood?
Yeah, I should have went on. But basically, because I think once you start to think about yourself, I think more people, especially when you think about, you know what, I want to do businesses. Like, better people want to better the quality of life for themselves and their families. Typically, the best way to do this is become an entrepreneur, to work for yourself.
Yeah.
But at least if we have a mentality, feel like, you know what, when I do this particular business, I'm going to hire only my own. Or I'm going to prioritize my own, I should say, and do certain things. And you have in mind providing a service for the community. It kind of keeps you looking towards the community. And people that come into your business look towards the community too. You know what I'm saying? So even if people want to leave, you leave with that seed of black empowerment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you leave my company eventually. You're too big for TDA now, fine. But when you go over there, you say, you know what, I'm going to come, but I'm going to demand a show that does this particular thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Obviously, we have to kind of wrap up, so that's why I was kind of speeding up.
Alrighty.
This is sorry.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kevin Thompson, right? He says, right now the gal them have the hand on the steering wheel and we know they can't drive, right? Understand.
What girl them got their hands on the...
Black women are the ones who
crack.
put their hands in their pockets and put their money where their mouths are.
No,
They're the ones on the front line on these protests, organizing the protest. Because remember, all the man them is in jail. All the man them is in jail. Do you understand? So to suggest that these black women aren't one of the pivotal key factors in what we need to do is bollocks. Brother, this riles me up, you know.
Tell him again, man.
Your mother, run things, right?
Yeah,
My
facts.
mother, run things.
Kevin, man, you gotta change your rhetoric,
Oh
man.
my goodness. No, that's wild.
Like, Kevin, you never pissed Brent. I've never heard Brent's
That
accent that
is
strong in my life.
wild.
I've known this man for a bare part of half a decade
They're
now.
actually doers. And we can see they do us on Twitter. They do. Oh,
Literally.
this person needs to be removed. I am going up to them removing you. They're doers. Nah. We need to make sure and keep them sweet. We need them for the fight that
Yeah, he's
is in
moving mad
front of
actually.
us.
'Cause even at the moment, Kelechi's going on the press run, giving the royal family a run for their money.
Wait,
Oh,
They're
shit,
gonna
is
know
that
everything
Kevin?
by the end of
is
the
your
day.
mic
Wait,
gone,
that-
Esther?
Is that
Sorry?
Kevin?
Is your mic gone?
Is it? I don't think so.
No, I can hear.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, my mic is here. Yeah, Kelechi.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Just put it closer. Thank
Yeah,
you.
the royal family are gonna know Kelechi's name by the end of this week. She's giving them a run for their money, like she's
Sorry.
not playing.
Kevin, I'm giving you 3 minutes, sir.
He's on the phone.
Yeah, he's on the phone.
Give me my 3 minutes.
3
Give me my
minutes.
3 minutes.
Timer starting now.
So, cool. So what we understand, right, is all these other communities have a traditional way of moving and being led, right? And they're all led by their men. Can we all agree on that?
This is about your 3 minutes.
To varying degrees, though. They have different roles.
I'm fine with saying yes. Go on.
Yeah. We can all agree on that, right?
What's the point? Go on.
So based upon the fact that their men are leading their communities, we know where the money is being spent and who's spending it. Right now, the biggest industries that are being spent is things like hair, right? Like the black pound and the black dollar, as it were, are controlled majoritively by females right now. They're the highest spenders inside of communities and societies. And the data's there to show that.
Sorry.
I didn't get the point.
Yeah, I need to know the point. Your main issue, the statement that you made suggested that we shouldn't have black women in this particular fight ahead of us, right? Because they
I'm
don't
not
know how to
saying that.
steer,
I'm
they don't know
not
how to
saying that.
drive. They will lead us down like off the cliff completely.
Well, right now, black women majoritively dominate the households. And the household is where you get the structure where we're not putting the money back into the foolishness, we're putting the money back into the areas that we need to. We know that households that have both parents or both sexes don't spend money in the same way as the singular household does.
You do realize that black women are like disproportionately more represented in these executive suite positions in corporate, right? You do realize that they're making waves above black men. Are you realizing that, right?
I know that. I know that. But again, is our community not in the mud because of it? You think that it has no negative effect?
Wait, you're saying? Wait, are you telling me because they are CEOs and CFOs, they are causing the black community to be where they are right now?
No. I'm not saying that they're causing it. I'm saying the fact that we don't have our men in that position causes it.
And whose fault is that?
The leadership isn't solid.
Whose fault is that?
Say
Shouldn't
again?
men be the ones to step their pussy game up and get themselves in those positions?
Yeah, you could say that, but the black man has been displaced on many levels. They targeted us on purpose. They put us in jail on purpose. They split up our houses on purpose.
So who's
So,
they? The they isn't black women, is it?
30 seconds left. I'm going to let you just spit. 30 seconds left, Kevin. I appreciate every single time it is that you leave a comment because you represent a particular mindset in society, and I feel like you need to be in the mix, having these conversations, so that at one point in time you basically change your mind. So I appreciate you greatly, but I'm giving you 20 more seconds left.
I'm just saying, like I said, all the other communities are led by their men. Our community isn't led by our men right now. The most dominant features in our community are the Cardi B's and Beyonce's. And
no, don't mention America, please. Don't mention America. You keep saying that we should mention America.
Even if we go to here, we just don't have the structure that we should do, and the leadership has to come from men. As Esther said earlier, she should be pro-black sometimes. We need imams.
As a great black leader, as a great black male leader, it's impossible to basically disrespect black women and think that we could basically make headway. Impossible.
Do you know what's wild? Because when I said
I'm not saying we're disrespecting them.
When I said that I'm pro-black, blah, blah, when I am, every single man in this room said, yeah, as we all are. So I'm not getting the point.
True.
The thing is, what it sounds like is that you're basically saying that black men are not in a powerful position, black women are, but black men not being in a powerful position is somehow linked to black women, but then they displace black men. So I don't understand what this has got to do with black women. Your point isn't landing.
Kevin, 5 seconds.
I'm not telling you that.
5 seconds.
I'm not telling you it's just black women. I'm saying that black men have to aim for excellence too. I'm not blaming black women for black men's lack of excellence.
Okay, so why did black women enter the conversation?
I'm saying who's controlling the society right now and who's controlling the money that's being spent in the society right now.
Kevin, no, don't do Samuel. Thank you. Yeah, Kevin, thank you very much. And I hope you continue to remain in the community, sir. You need your mind changed.
I always will be.
Bless, brother.
I always will be. All
right.
Thanks for calling.
It sounds like he's basically saying black women are killing it in what they're doing. But then they're not spending the money right.
Wait. There's a different day you got to do this. Don't do this now. Right. Don't do this now. Don't do this now. This is a different conversation for a different day.
Black women are working hard to get themselves in executive positions, but then you don't think they're spending their money right while you yourself are not in an executive position. Some of you just admit you don't like black women, and this will be easier. Just admit it, and life will be a lot easier. Anyway, let's go to the next headline.
Can I say one thing? Like the video, people.
Wait.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Who is this?
Good morning.
I'll be here.
Can't hear you too well.
Sorry, is this the caller with the dodgy connection? Are you from Brum?
I'm not calling from France. I've moved in the UK now. I don't understand why my connection is so bad.
I can hear you.
Guys hear me?
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah, just stay in the same spot.
We're giving you 3 minutes, please. Thank you very much. Lovely.
No problem. I do wanted to make some comments on what Kevin is saying, and he needs to understand that clearly women have had to step it up because of men like you. Because of men like you, we've actually had to step up, and now look at what women are doing. We have got side hustles. I personally work full-time. I'm actually a student full-time as well with Open University. I own my own house because actually I was in a relationship where a guy was expecting me to do every fucking single thing as well as doing everything else. So we've had to step up and get our own game ourselves. So how dare you saying, because of us, men haven't got the same space, because you have clearly downgraded yourself You're there waiting for women to do everything, and now you're complaining about it. And that was the subject from yesterday, following up clearly, because yesterday you guys were talking about how a lot of men aren't raised like they should be the head of house anymore, and we're not really submitting to them. There's a reason for that, isn't there? Like, Esther, you can clearly speak on that and say that obviously your mom was a single woman and she's had to obviously raise you guys. And my mom was in a very similar situation where she's lived with my dad for like 20 years. In the end, she decided she didn't want to be in this anymore, and she took us, the children, out of the relationship and moved us in another country, actually. So my dad still lives in France. My mom, along with the three of us, lives here. And it's been really, really hard for her doing it, but she preferred doing that because she didn't want to be with someone who treats her like rubbish and who expects her to do everything on top of working. So things they're not adding up.
It's not adding up at all. Yeah, you can't criticize what people spend their money on when they've worked hard. Like talking about hair. What are you like? Where's the correlation? You're a smart
and this
woman.
is what
man.
I mean. And then it's like a lot of, and if that was white people doing that, where they provide the services, and then it's like we have to obviously bring ourselves up and do the same. Obviously now we hear a lot of drama with the MK hair, blah blah blah. Aside from the point,
But they're even the minority.
Stepping up. Well, yeah, they are. There's a lot of people that are bringing a lot to the community and trying to obviously get us to the other, I guess, demographic and races. And you are the man who's doing that and who's bringing us down, saying because of us, that woman, you can't do your role. That's on your role, sir.
I agree with you.
Thank you very much for calling in. That was lovely. That's exactly 3 minutes.
Thank you, lovely. Yeah, it's funny because Kevin's saying that, women are... have a nice day, hon.
Later.
All right.
And you too. Have
Women
a good day, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
hon.
You too.
Women are spending money on like hair and stuff like that, but you're missing all the male rappers that have got a new Rolex for every day of the week and all that kind of stuff. What is your concern? What is your speech to those guys? Listen, man, it's not everything black women. You can't blame black women because you're not in certain positions. Like, what are you talking about? That had to be the silliest thing I ever heard in my life. Let's get into the next headlines, please.
All right.
Kevin rattled. Brent's pissed off of him.
Honestly, you saw. Surprised we didn't jump to done out here. All right, so our next headline. This is a trigger warning, actually. Sorry, guys. So the Taliban performed first execution since return to power. The Taliban have carried out what is thought to be their first public execution since their return to power in Afghanistan last year. A Taliban spokesperson said a man was killed at a crowded sports stadium in southwestern Farah province after he confessed to murder. Dozens of the group's leaders, including most top ministers in the government, attended the shooting. It comes weeks after judges were instructed to fully enforce Sharia law. The Taliban's supreme leader, Hibatullah Akhundzada, issued the verdict last month, ordering judges to impose punishments that may include public executions, public amputations, and stoning. However, the exact crimes and corresponding punishments have not been officially defined by the Taliban. While several public floggings have been carried out recently, including that of a dozen people before a crowded football stadium in Logar province last month, it marks the first time the Taliban have publicly acknowledged carrying out an execution. According to their spokesperson, Zabihullah Mujahid, the execution was attended by several Supreme Court justices, military personnel, and senior ministers, including the Justice, Foreign, and Interior ministers. Mohammed Khalid Hanafi, charged with imposing the Taliban's strict interpretation of Islamic law as Minister for Vice and Virtue, was also present. However, Prime Minister Hassan Akhund did not attend, the statement said. According to the Taliban, the executed man named Tajmir, a son of Ghulam Sawar and a resident of Herat province, had stabbed a man named Mustafa about 5 years ago. He was subsequently convicted by 3 Taliban courts, and his sentence was approved by Mullah Akhundzada. The father of the victim carried out the execution, shooting the man 3 times, a later statement from the Taliban spokesperson said. Before the execution, a public notice was issued, publicising the event and asking all citizens to join us in the sports field. They're moving wild, talking about join us in as if it's a thingy.
I could.
Should I read the next one? Okay. So the next one is about cult leader who had 20 wives. A self-proclaimed prophet in the US had more than 20 wives, some of them younger than 18, the FBI has said. Samuel Rapili, I should have given a trigger warning, sorry.
What, for 20 wives?
No, for them being younger and sexual acts with younger women.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Yeah, sorry. Trigger warning, guys. Sexual assault and grooming, pedophilia. So Samuel, for 20 wives, you're so silly. Samuel Rapili Bateman claimed it was... I'm sorry, I'm going to start again. I can't believe this foolishness I'm reading here. I'm reacting in real time. All right, let's start again. Trigger warning. A self-proclaimed prophet in the US had more than 20 wives, some of them younger than 18, the FBI have said. Samuel Rapili Bateman claimed it was God's will for him to engage in sexual acts with his wives, the FBI said. Bateman, who is 46, was charged in September with destroying records and obstructing justice in an investigation into whether children were being transported across state lines for sexual activity. The details come from an FBI affidavit, filed on Friday. Bateman was a former member of a branch of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, FLDS Church, a breakaway sect of the Mormon Church, until he left to start his own splinter group. The FBI said that Bateman was supported financially by male followers who gave up their own wives and children to be Bateman's wives. He punished followers who did not treat him as a prophet, the FBI said. In August, Bateman was arrested when he was discovered hauling a trailer with 3 young girls aged between 11 and 14. He posted bond but was later arrested on the charges of destroying records and obstructing justice. Earlier this year, 9 girls were removed from Bateman's care by Arizona Child Services and placed in group homes. In interviews with the FBI, none of the 9 girls placed in homes mentioned sexual abuse by Bateman, but in journals they referenced interactions with him. The affidavit, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Where's the jump in?
Oh, sorry, it's me typing.
Yeah, so in interviews with the FBI, none of the 9 girls placed in homes mentioned sexual abuse by Bateman, but in journals they reference intimate interactions with him, the affidavit has said. The FLDS Church has been designated as a hate group by the Southern Law Poverty Center. Its founder, Warren Jeffs, was sentenced to life in prison in 2011 for sexually assaulting 2 underage followers he took as brides. That's wild, man.
That's the guy on the Netflix show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There's a whole documentary about this.
Oh, yeah, I think I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I have to protect my peace. But yeah, that's he needs to be stoned to death. But anyways, okay. And then last one in the section is also trigger warning, murder and necrophilia. It's about David Fuller, who's been sentenced. A former hospital worker who abused female corpses. People are sick. A former hospital worker who abused female corpses has been sentenced for carrying out further depraved acts. David Fuller is already serving 2 whole life tariffs for murdering Wendy Nell and Carolyn Pierce in 1987. He was also previously sentenced for sexual offences against 78 dead women and girls between 2008 and 2020. Fuller, who is 68 from Heathfield in East Sussex, appeared at the Old Bailey earlier where he was sentenced to 4 years for abusing a further 23 women. The former electrician abused the women over a 13-year period at hospitals in Kent and Sussex. Last month, he admitted 12 counts of sexual penetration of a corpse and 4 counts of possession of extreme pornography between 2007 and 2020. Sentencing Fuller earlier, Mrs. Justice Chima Grubb said he had no regard for the dignity of the dead, having habitually abused trust placed in him as a hospital worker. His victims' relatives had their memories sullied and stolen, she said. They have been left in a dark place. They have expressed the outrage and revulsion that the women you abused would have felt at your objectification of them. Fuller filmed himself abusing corpses in the mortuaries at the Tunbridge Wells Hospital and the former Kent and Sussex Hospital. He would go into the morgues when other staff had left, often visiting the same bodies repeatedly. This is making me sick. His previous trial was told. The daughter of one of his victims described to the court earlier how she felt when she found out about the abuse of her mother, saying, "The pain and emotional upset seared through my body like a knife." Death penalty, man. All right, let's get into Word on Road. All right, so there is reports, well, it's kind of confirmed, I guess, that the Afrobeat artist, D'banj, has been arrested over fraud allegations with government officials. So basically, there is a, what's it called? Yeah, so on Tuesday he was arrested, and apparently he's been dodging the arrests for a while, talking about he's got concerts and he's got shows and whatever, ducking and diving, but I think enough was enough. And he had to get arrested. He's been denied bail as well because they can't trust that he will actually show up for the trial, which makes sense considering he's been ducking and diving. So basically, there was some funds that was so it's for the it was for the Empower project, and this is basically to help youth unemployment and increase social development. And so basically, he and some other people, government officials, I guess, were in cahoots to basically put on fake beneficiaries into the payroll of the scheme to get the monies. But obviously the money was then going to him and whoever else was involved in the scam. So I'll keep an eye on the story and see what happens if he does get jail. Obviously, with Nigeria, do you know what, actually, I was going to say justice is with whoever you know in it. How justice is served depends on who you know and who you are and stuff like that. But I think the fact that he was denied bail says something. And I think that when it comes to like fraudulent stuff and like money, they're really clamping down on all this stuff. Like hella politicians even have been arrested and stuff like that, and they're actually serving the time. So I think when it comes to fraud and government fraud and stuff like that, is a big thing. But this isn't his first time in the public courts, because I think I might have mentioned it once. No, that's my pod. No, I didn't. So basically, I think in 2020, trigger warning sexual assault. Some girl came out and basically said how he raped her. Yeah, it was a whole thing. And then she came out and spoke, her friend came out and spoke about it, and then she came out and said, yeah, like, it all happened. She gave specific dates. It was like an event. It was, because in December in Nigeria, they do a massive concert, it's like end of the year, it's at Echo Hotel. And you always get like headliners, all that kind of stuff. I didn't go there this year, you guys to go. But yeah, so they usually do that every year. So she was saying how it was from that event. And he raped her and everything. And then he then denied it. But then she did a whole thread on Twitter. So basically, the girl went missing. She basically got kidnapped. Allegedly got kidnapped. And then people started seeing tweets from her account as well, saying, oh, I lied about everything. That was all a lie. So basically, the word was that she got kidnapped. I think her and her mum or something like that, or they got arrested or something like that, and they basically forced her to take back all the allegations. It's a whole madness. So if he ends up going to jail for this, sometimes karma doesn't get you in the way you think it's gonna get you. It finds other means to get you, but you're still gonna get got. So yeah, but I'll keep an eye on that and let you guys know the outcome of all of that stuff. And then also Whoopi Goldberg yesterday, she was trending, but basically she said in her will. So on her show, The View, they were talking about Marilyn Monroe's... There's a biopic on Marilyn Monroe, which I guess the family didn't really consent to, and it's called Blonde. And people are basically talking about how it doesn't paint the correct pictures, and it basically kind of glorifying abuse and glorifying, fertility issues and all that kind of stuff. So there's been a lot of backlash about the biopic. And so they were having a conversation, and then Whoopi Goldberg basically said that in her will, she's included a clause where people cannot do biopics. They could basically, unauthorized biopics about her cannot be made. Which I think is absolutely amazing, because a lot of times when people die...
How can she stop that?
How can she? The family can sue. So if it's in your will, and it's like legally, they will have to go and get written consent from the family, and if they don't, they can be sued for it, basically. They will be sued. Because like a lot of people have died, and like, who is it? Is it Whitney Houston? If I see one more Whitney Houston, let this woman rest.
Funny you say that. I think there's another one.
There is. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. There's always every year there's a new biopic about Whitney Houston. We've heard.
Logistically, though, there must be loopholes around there. She can't stop that.
She can, because it's about her life. A biopic is about your life. You can.
But bury them.
Yeah. They might say it's loosely based on... may find a way around it, you know.
Yeah, but it
I feel
depends how good her lawyer is, because she can cover loosely based, she can cover it's on my name, she can cover if it looks like me, it's got dreads, she can cover everything. She needs to, do you get what I mean? But I think it's a great thing, because a lot of times people really want to rewrite your story and give whatever they want to give. On account of
They
whatever.
weren't making no fucking Whoopi Goldberg story as well, man.
And you know what? You are the man of the streets, because that's what the people are saying, and that's why I'm reporting it.
Ain't no one making no Whoopi Goldberg story, man. The fuck's she talking about?
Whoopi's...
Mark is so lit.
No, Whoopi's,
Listen,
Whoopi's big business, but
listen, Whoopi made Sister Act 2. You can't speak bad on Whoopi.
But you know what's mad though? That is what people are saying. Any blog you go on, where this article is there,
it's the best film ever.
people in the comments, people are like, first of all, who's making a biopic about you? And they're like, it's so nice of you to think that we're gonna make a biopic about you.
I'll be honest with you. They might do it now because she said something. But before this, they was
No,
never
but big up
doing
Whoopi, man.
that.
I like Whoopi, man. She's a joker. She's hilarious. But no, that's what people were saying. People were like, okay, this is great and all, but Beyonce should be doing that. Not you, ma'am. But I think it's a good
They
idea.
ain't gonna get me.
Listen.
I ain't gonna get got.
Sorry, is there somebody on the line?
Yeah, there is. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt because I thought I called the wrong time.
But how long you been there for?
No, it's just a couple of seconds.
Oh,
No,
just a
it
moment,
definitely was the wrong
moment.
time, but it's all right. What's your name?
Oh, Karina. Hi.
Oh, hi, Queen. That's
Karina,
another name.
Hi. Literally, it's so funny. I was even going to wait until there was a break in the conversation because literally I called it in this moment because I was enjoying the
That's all
conversation.
right. You're here
Oh,
now.
what, babe?
You're here now, babes.
But you said, I loved how you dropped, well, you just got a couple of things you just dropped, Esther. And then, but you mentioned Whoopi Goldberg, but then I was like, oh, it's good not to speak uninformed. Because, guys, I was going to say, oh, no, didn't Whoopi Goldberg go through abuse, all this stuff? Then I was like, Karina, shut up there. You're now doing Oprah Winfrey's life story. Shut up. No. So I have no Oprah life story. Let me close it up. So really, though, I was shocked, guys. No. That the band story that got me. I went to go and say to my Instagram followers, oh guys, not to mock, but wow, look at this news. The band got done for fraud. And I was saying that in solidarity, like, oh wow, maybe Nigeria is finally starting to, clamp down those kind of stuff. It's a good thing. Which amen, and that's news to me. But look, I didn't know anything about that story you then shared about the girl and the abuse, and I was spun. And my head was dizzy.
I remember that. That was a very dark time.
I had no idea, and obviously that must have been a time where I took a break off Twitter. Just thank you guys for the news that you spread, and wow. Then now let me keep quiet, and I'll call next time at the right time. Thank you.
All right, lovely. Take care.
Bless.
Thank you.
It's got good vibes.
Bye.
Bye, hun. But yeah, man, it's crazy. But still on people who are speaking when they need not, following from Whoopi Goldberg, is Wendy Williams' ex-husband. He's opening his mouth. Kevin Hunter. What is it that Charlamagne calls him? Doodoo Brown, I think.
What does he do?
So basically, he was the executive producer of her show.
But it's because of her, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's saying it's because of him. He's saying he said he did that. That's what he's saying. He's finally speaking up about that, and he's saying that he takes all the credit for Wendy's show success. So basically, he's saying how, so obviously Wendy she's been on radio, she was on radio, blah, blah, and they've been married for like years before she even came on TV and whatever. So he's basically saying that he was the one who facilitated this and got, the network to see what it was that she was going to do. It's honestly a bunch of bull crap. Just men wanting to take, his name's Kevin and all. Crazy. Wanting to take credit for things they haven't done. And wanting to gain from what they haven't done. But anyway, he did do a good job in terms of doing his job as an executive producer. However, to say that you're the reason why the show was successful, no, because we didn't tune in for Kevin Hunter. We tuned in for Wendy. And Wendy's personality is the same as she had on radio. And she was on radio before she even knew you. So what are you talking about? So anyways, he goes on to talk about all of that stuff, says that he deserves the credit for it, and he let the network know how important hip-hop was. The network weren't trying to, report on like any hip-hop or any kind of stuff like that. And he was able to sell to them the importance of it, and to the point where, like, obviously with Wendy spoke on shows like this, like I think apparently on TV, Wendy's kind of got like the longest monologue where she talks for like the longest time, and that's not usually how TV goes, I guess. As in like the host talking for that long. Clearly they don't know about TDA. But anyways, and he was basically saying like with that, like she's made like daytime successes and whatever. Basically just trying to take credit for stuff. And he's saying also that in terms of their marriage as well, they should have got a divorce 10 years ago. I bet Wendy wishes that was the case too. And then he's also saying how he, like, when he left, the show fell apart. No, it didn't. It fell apart due to ill health, which was really triggered by his foolishness that he was doing. But he wouldn't take accountability for that, of course not. So yeah, he was saying that when he left the show, when he got fired, he didn't leave, he got fired. When he got fired from the show and whatever, the show went downhill, and everyone around Wendy was basically they weren't being real with her, they weren't taking care of her in the way that she needs to be taken care of, in terms of, like, obviously she's very open about how she gone through, like, she's used drugs before, and she's been clean for years and all that kind of stuff. Obviously she ended up back in rehab and whatever, and he was basically saying how he always took the right steps to make sure that she was kind of on the good path, and then when she left, everything just came crumbling without him, blah blah blah. A whole bunch of nonsense, if you ask me. Long ass interview, but nothing came. And he basically spoke about how the show as well, he became the hot topic. So Wendy's biggest segment was Hot Topics, which just gives you all the gossip and all that kind of stuff. And he said how when he left, he became the hot topic, and they were kind of giving Wendy, like, false strength and making her feel like, yeah, you'll be fine, just talk about this, blah blah. And he's saying how that wasn't really good for her mental and how she was. But really and truly, sir, if you're cheating on somebody for like a decade and you're using their money to sponsor your mistress and your newborn baby, maybe that would have prevented more harm than people making her talk about what it is that you put her through. She has to talk about it, because when he talks about everybody else, so her business can't be in the streets, and then she's not going to talk about it. I remember people talking about, oh, I bet she's not going to talk about it. And she came head on and said, yeah, so I'm the hot topic because this is what I found out and this is what's going on. Blah, as she should. God forbid I'm ever a hot topic on here. I'm ever the word on road. I'll come here and address it, depending on my mood, of course. I'll come and address it. So, yeah, it was just, honestly, it was a bunch of nonsense. It's funny, 'cause I was watching that interview yesterday with a new comedian in America. I just found out his name, Gerard something. Very funny guy. But he was on Breakfast Club. And they were talking about, like, hate, like having hate for somebody. And Charlemagne was saying how, like, there's like a couple people, but he was like, one person that he hates to his core is Kevin Hunter.
Yes.
He always talks about, because he saw the abuse, he saw all of that stuff. And I guess it's a thing where, like, because Kevin knew that Charlemagne knew, he basically turned Wendy against Charlemagne. Where then I think he was working with her or something at the time, and he got fired and whatever. So he tried to warn Wendy, but then obviously that's your husband, so you're gonna believe your husband and whatever. But like Wendy and Charlemagne are cool now, which is really, really positive. But yeah, it was honestly a bunch of nonsense, if I'm being honest with you. He just didn't take accountability for anything. He's basically saying that he made her, he did this, he did that. It's all nonsense, because also recently as well, his son, which is the only child, was evicted from his apartment for owing like 70 grand in rent. But that's because I reported to you guys about the whole money thing when it comes to Wendy, about how they're basically saying, her bank is basically saying that they've been informed that she's not in the right mind to spend her money. So because of that, your child is homeless. So while you're sitting here doing interviews about why it is that you made your ex-wife, your son is currently has been kicked out. This guy's in college. He had to take a year off school so he can take care of Wendy, and he's currently in charge of her finances and all that kind of stuff. But obviously it's difficult because of his age and whatever else. So while he's out here doing a press tour talking about all this nonsense, your child is currently homeless.
Yeah.
It's mad. But again, when you talk now, they tell you, another Kevin will be in the comment telling you that the black woman did this. So you know how that runs. But anyways, that's that. But in positive news, which I think is positive anyway, the royal family, not really. Meghan and Harry have a Netflix docuseries. And as present, it is out. It was out 8 a.m. this morning. And it should be really, really cool. So the trailer looks very, very interesting. I saw the trailer a while back, but I didn't want to report on it until it was going to be out, I guess. And yeah, so it's out today. I'm definitely gonna watch it, and I will come back here and report with you and let you guys know the tea. But yeah, from everything, they're basically saying they're talking about the absolute truths. They're giving everything, because you see Meghan breaking down that it's a whole thing. And I reckon we're gonna get a lot more as well than we've been getting from them in the past years, where we've been getting that kind of snippets. Also, apparently the royals, the royals, they're on standby to be able to deflect and do whatever it is that they need to do if anything is going to speak against them in a negative light, which, to be honest, it all will. And it's going to give the truths. But yeah, apparently they're ready to do whatever it is they need to do to amend any damages that comes their way. But no one cares. I believe Meghan and Harry every single damn time, because there's no reason for them to just be lying up and down and doing these tours to be saying nothing. So yeah, I will watch it, and I'll watch it over the weekend, and I'll let you guys know the tea. But let's get into the People's Journal. If Yusuf's saying it's warm.
Welcome to the People's Journal. I gave you the news from an economics point of view. I'm going to be super swift here because I got something for our...
Bro, we just do turn it
a
up.
joke.
No, turn it off.
Oh.
So cold.
No, I just feel heat.
Yeah, because it's winding down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because we got something for a Walker joke.
Oh,
So,
yes.
first thing I wanted to mention is, I kind of touched on this before actually, but yeah, British producers of free-range birds, right? Remember I was talking before, and then Margs educated us on capons and things of that nature. Well, some British producers of free-range birds are basically saying, don't buy frozen turkeys for Christmas, right? So they're outright saying, the stuff people are going to go and get for Christmas in Tesco, Sainsbury's, everywhere you need to go, and it's frozen, don't buy them. And obviously he's mentioned it because of the whole bird flu crisis. Remember
Bird flu?
Yeah, remember
It's
I said
back.
this before? Yeah, what? You don't listen to... This is why you end
I
up
don't
in a
think I was
bus
here.
last time, remember?
It's true. I had a strange man offering me a lift.
You see what I'm saying?
I was wild. But me, I wasn't
Yeah,
here.
you was here.
It was just turkeys, no?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't eat turkey anyway.
Yeah. Well,
I've never
then
eaten
you're
it.
lucky.
It stinks.
But yeah, but half the turkey.
You say it stinks.
It has a funny smell.
Yeah.
Turkey. You're
What?
vegan, everything has a funny smell to you. Or meat.
But yeah, they were saying like about half the turkeys that died, I think they said it was about 650,000, died from bird flu.
Oh, I thought you meant the turkeys died and then they packaged them up and froze them.
No.
Like I said, in dead turkeys. You know what nation would do that though.
Oh, for sure.
Would y'all?
Don't do that.
You say with who?
People's Journal,
We
man.
didn't say it's us.
If you know, you know.
Hey, man.
But yeah, he's basically saying, obviously, don't turn to that because of the whole bird flu crisis and the cost of living crisis. All of this stuff has impacted the price of turkeys and stuff like that, innit? So yeah, there's a big shortage and stuff like that. We were talking about them the other day, innit?
Yep.
Useless people. So anyway, they've come out to basically... Sorry about this. My thingy just went. Damn. Basically, what it is that they were saying... They've apologized, basically. Apologized for their lack of good deliveries service, right? Yeah, so they're basically saying it's all because of the Christmas
What?
thingy. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
They were bad in spring and all. What are you talking about?
They had their mind on Christmas since March.
Yeah,
this
clearly.
This is what they're saying. So yeah, they basically said, people been complaining. Like, it's not just like regular people like us, right, complaining, but companies have been complaining. Like, you know what I'm saying? ASOS, H&M, JD
And
Sports.
stop using them.
You know what I'm saying? And remember they did this to, who was it, Royal Mail the other day, Currys. Yeah, because of the strikes and stuff. Yeah, but anyway, they've come out just to say they're sorry about this. They said they're delivering more than 3 million parcels daily, and they're trying to get everyone's items around the country and things of that nature. And yeah, all they're saying is sorry. So that's that. Also, so bear with me, people. So I lost my tab. That's why. But yeah, there was a report that came out talking about the world's poorest countries, right, and how they expected to pay. Listen to this: 35% more in debt interest bills this year to cover the cost of the COVID-19 pandemic, and obviously the rise of I don't know why I said obviously, but yeah, the rise in the price of food imports and all that stuff. This is a report that the World Bank put out. So more than £63 billion is going to be spent by 75 countries, and many of them, as you probably would have guessed, are in sub-Saharan Africa, so some of the poorest nations in the world. And this is to cover loans that they've taken out mostly over the past decade, right? And also the higher interest that keeps compounding, all that type of nonsense. So yeah, they've come out to say they're concerned about the debt payments. they're concerned at how the debt payments were consuming more of the government spending. Because obviously, we're paying the debt back, and the interest is rising. It's not like the extra money that we can be making or we are making can go to something to actually develop the country. It's going to just paying debt. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when people take out credit cards and stuff like this. And yeah, you may have an increase in your wage, but if you don't pay your bill by a particular date and the interest goes up, all your extra money is just going towards that. It's not really benefiting your quality of life. So yeah, the World Bank have come out to basically speak about that. I need to read more about that to see if they're actually coming up with solutions or just talking, basically. And the last thing I wanted to mention takes us to Nigeria, and basically, I'm not even going to mention my own personal views, but basically, an 11-man, I'll just read it out. Right? An 11-man special investigative panel has been inaugurated by the Nigerian government through the Office of the National Security Advisor to investigate oil theft, right? And all the losses, especially that's going around the Niger Delta region. So as we know, the whole oil issue in Nigeria just doesn't make sense. We're one of the highest producing oil countries in the world. In terms of producing is even the wrong word to use for Nigeria.
Yeah, because remember our thing is shut down.
Thank you very much.
And all they need to do is fix it,
Fix it, and then we will be self-sufficient.
And we'll be able to even provide to other countries. But
This
no,
is it.
why would you want to do something stupid like that?
Imagine we have oil there in abundance, but we actually import.
Wait, what are you saying? You're saying that there is...
I don't like when you laugh when you talk about Nigeria. It's giving anti. Like, what is that word you came up with? Afro. What is it that you put in a group chat?
Afro-Semitism.
Yeah, man, you're giving Afro-Semitism, bro. I don't like your tone.
You guys are saying there's a factory, right? A working factory minus the working, right? That can just pump oil.
But the factory's not working, man. That's what we're saying.
But minus the working, yeah?
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But you guys are a nation of engineers. What are you talking about?
Do you know what's mad? Yeah?
Y'all build and invent stuff from nothing.
Listen, from when I remember, so this has been years. This shit has been broken, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, what we send the oil to other countries, they then refine it.
Yeah.
Then they send it back to
And
us.
send it back. We pay
and
for
we
it.
pay more. Yeah,
What
we pay
are
more.
you
Do you know what I mean?
talking about?
When we could actually just fix our own. Oh, it's a lost
This
cause,
is not fake
man.
facts?
No, this is genuine.
This is dead ass. This is actual facts.
It's sad, man. It's just sad. So yeah, it's upsetting, man. I don't want to get annoyed.
Brent is like, you were serious.
I'm learning stuff every day.
Yeah, it's a travesty. Anyway, that's the end of People's Journal. Let's move on to
quick break.
Yeah, Nigeria.
No.
Oh, sorry.
And no.
All right, people. I know we're kind of going over time. Kind of. Actually, you know what? There ain't much sports today. Although there is some breaking news. But yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah. Oh, I wanted us to talk about the whole UK citizenship stuff. Right?
Do you remember Begum then?
Kind of. But it's more so, she was born here though, isn't it? I believe. Yeah, she was born here.
Oh, yeah.
But more so for people who want to come to the country, you got to do a citizenship test.
Oh, is
right?
it?
Yeah, you got to do a test. And the question basically for the whole woke job thing is, do you think that the tests are kind of done in a particular way to keep certain people out? That's basically the question.
Okay.
They're to keep everybody out because English people can't do them tests.
All right.
I can't.
What's actually on the test?
Oh.
No, not deniers.
Thank you guys for your inquiries.
You're so annoying.
So this is why we have some paper here. And a pencil.
Are we doing a test?
We're going to do a test today.
This morning.
Today. That's what the T and TDA stand for.
No.
Please pass around the paper.
Oh, this is giving school.
And the working pencils.
They all sharpened?
Yes, they are.
Why don't you keep one and give me the rest?
Yeah, I was gonna say that you did that wrong. School time, you
So
take your.
You can't pass a test, sir.
No, but you just done it.
Does everyone
wrong.
have paper? Does everyone have paper?
I'm just saying you done it wrong, bro.
Listen. Everyone got paper, no?
This is not part of the test.
Does everyone have a pencil and paper?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's fine.
All right.
People playing in the comments too.
I would love them too, man. But you know what? Yeah, people in the comments. in
Put
the
your
chat.
answers in there.
So I
Yeah.
can answer, I can get them.
Oh, Tariq is left.
Oh, actually
I'm finna copy some of my answers.
yeah, so basically, do it yourself or whatever. And at the end, basically put your score into the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So basically, it's 24 questions here.
24?
Yeah. We're going to be super quick.
24
It's
questions.
24 questions.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go.
All right, so basically,
This
just
should be the
do
topic of the day first
8.
of all. All right, let me get my student mode.
Hey, okay, you got the spirit.
This I've got the spirit.
All right, so basically, 24 questions. It's multiple choice, so you guys have some type of hope.
Okay.
So I'm just doing A, B, C, or D.
Exactly.
That's
All right,
So just put your number, put number 1, A, B, C, or D, and then we're gonna mark it quickly afterwards. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Cool. So which of these UK landmarks is in Wales? A, the Giant's Causeway. B, Loch Lomond. C, Snowdonia. D, Lake District.
This is gonna be a straight guess game.
But you guys are English.
I'm not English.
Yeah.
I'm British.
Say them again.
All right. So A is the Giant's Causeway. B, Loch Lomond. C, Snowdonia. And D, the Lake
Yeah, but
District.
you said in Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, England is different from Wales, my friend.
Good point.
Extra point for you.
I'm just gonna guess. I don't even know.
So move on.
What's the bridge one again?
We're gonna be here all day.
The bridge one?
The bridge.
What bridge?
There's a word that you said that had bridge in it.
Nah, man. The Giant's Causeway?
That's it. Sorry. Causeway.
Where's the
bridge.
bridge?
No, causeway is the same as a bridge.
Okay.
No, but
cool.
what one is it? What number? I mean, what letter?
A. Sorry. A. All right. So question number 2.
Should I change my answer?
You changed it to batch mine.
Huh?
Oh,
Which flower is associated with England? A, shamrock. B, rose. C, daffodil. And D, thistle. Should I say it again?
yeah.
Which flower is associated with England? A, shamrock. B, rose. C, daffodil. And D, thistle.
I'm getting deported.
Stupid.
Cool. Next question.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Who built the Tower of London? A, Oliver Cromwell. B, Henry VII. C, William the Conqueror. D, Henry VIII.
You sort of ask people that are trying to get into the
This
country
is what they're asking.
with a fleeing war.
Woke or joke? Yep. This is what they're asking them. Next question. So who was supported by Klansmen from the Scottish Highlands and raised an army in 1745?
Clams on a person.
By Klansmen. No.
Oh.
It's Klansmen.
Okay.
So who was supported by Klansmen from the Scottish Highlands and raised an army in 1745? A, Bonnie Prince Charlie. B, Robert Burns. C, Oliver Cromwell. D, Kenneth MacAlpin.
Boy, I ain't done scene in a while, so.
You know what? I said me.
Question 5. Which two houses fought in the War of the Roses?
Tudors and the Capulets.
Okay, let's see. A, the House of Chester. B, the House of York. C, the House of Lancaster. And D, the House of Newcastle.
I was waiting for your answer so I could pick that option.
So I
I think
think,
the Capulets in like Romeo and Juliet or something.
Yeah. What was A again? Sorry.
the House of Chester. So I think this is 2. You have to choose 2 of these.
I choose 2.
Yeah. So which 2 houses fought?
Okay.
So the House of Chester, A.
What's the question, sorry?
Which 2 houses fought in the War of the Roses?
Okay.
So the House of Chester's A. B is the House of York. C is the House of Lancaster. And D, the House of Newcastle.
Yeah. I've guessed every single question so far.
Cool. Number 6.
What kind of paper is this, Brent?
It's a shiny type.
I'm
innit?
rubbing out.
Oh, is it?
Nah, man.
Come on, let's go 6.
6. What did Sir Frank Whittle invent in the 1930s? A, radar. B, hovercraft. C, jet engine. And D, a ballpoint pen.
Right.
Cool. Number 7. Who was given the title of Lord Protector?
Jon Snow.
A, Charles I. B, Charles II. C, Winston Churchill. D, Oliver Cromwell.
I know that name, Oliver Cromwell. I'm going to just put him down because he must have done something. You must get me one answer, right?
He was involved in Parliament and that.
Esther, you swayed my choice now.
Yeah, because Oliver Cromwell, that name sounds familiar, but I don't know
You
what.
know, I've heard of C and D names, but
Everything that he's come up in, I've just put him down as. He will get one.
One of
One of them he
them,
must have
right.
done.
all right, number 7, I'm going with Esther.
Okay, number 8. Several Church of England bishops sit in the House of
In fact,
Lords.
the answers might be in the chat though. These folk might be talking. Let me just.
That's cheating.
That's cheating.
That's cheating.
Answer.
You can't cheat.
He's gonna beat me.
Number 8. Several Church of England bishops sit in the House of Lords. True or false?
True.
Several Church England in the House of Lords.
Are there several Church of England bishops
I don't know what the House
sitting
of
in the
Lords
House
is.
of Lords?
Where did they do that?
We covered it like a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
They got 47 seats.
Were you here when they covered it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's true.
Number 9. I think I'm only going to do 10 questions.
Yeah, because I can't.
Yeah,
This is
I think we
mad.
should just do 10 for real.
I'm definitely not getting. It's fine. I'm not making it.
Number 9. Under which king did the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in England unite to defeat the Vikings? So this might have been in the show. I'm not too sure.
No, it's after Egbert. It's Go on, say them.
Cool. A. William of Orange. B. King Alfred the Great. C. Henry VIII. And D. Robert the Bruce.
It's one of the first two.
Shall I say it again?
Go on quickly.
William of Orange. That's number A. Number A, you know. That's A. B. King Alfred the Great. C. Henry VIII. And D. Robert the Bruce.
It might be Alfred. Alfred was Egbert's son, innit? One of them who united it was one of the youths.
Okay, so what was A?
Yeah. What answer begin with?
A? Is A Alpha?
Remember, your own individual passports depend on this.
I know, but this is a group assignment right now.
Yeah, but then if Mark's gonna make it in, Mark's gonna start a revolution, I'm happy to be part of that. We'll definitely make it into the country somehow.
Okay.
Oh, lucky dip. Better got that wrong. Come on, let's go. Last question.
Number 10. Where are the crown jewels kept? A.
Oh my gosh, I was about to make the maddest joke.
You're
I'm
right though.
bad.
How about
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm
Tutankhamun things,
mad.
It's in the tomb.
Yeah.
Oh, that isn't where I thought you were going.
Which one was going?
Crown jewels, you know what's
That's what I thought.
yeah.
Balls.
What is it?
Yeah,
Balls.
shorts.
Crown jewels is balls.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, where are the crown jewels kept? A. The House
Men
of
love to glorify
Commons.
themselves. Ridiculous.
A. At the House of Commons. B. At the Tower of London. C. Buckingham Palace. Or D. Windsor Castle.
Ooh.
Say it again. House of
No,
Commons.
no.
Okay, sorry.
It's just which one.
It's
it
like
is.
which one?
Yes,
Cool.
This is the only question that I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, that was actually ringing.
which one could it be?
This is the only question I know because I've been to see them when I was
Actually,
a
say the
youth.
options again, sorry.
A. At the House of Commons. B. Tower of London. C. Buckingham Palace. D. Windsor Castle.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see if this rubber works when
Let's
you give
see.
out the answers.
I was going to say pass the papers around.
No,
But, you know.
Yeah,
Mark
we got
each
to
other's work.
let's mark each
Oh,
other's
yeah,
work.
let's do
Yeah,
this.
Mark
yes.
trust us,
Yes.
man. Trust us.
No,
No, but
I can't trust.
You are who
Can't
we don't
trust
trust.
you.
Look at you.
I can't trust you.
You trust me.
Nope.
We can't trust you,
All right,
Joseph.
let's swap.
Wait, are you changing the answers?
No,
Wait,
I was-
you see
I was-
question
I was
three,
writing
yeah?
marks on my paper.
give me your
You see
paper.
question 3? Was that the one about the flower?
Hey, come.
1 second, sorry.
Nope. Come here. Give me.
That's Tower of London. Who
Come
built
on.
Tower of London?
There we go. Let's mark.
Okay. Whose is this?
That's Joseph.
Okay. Jay,
You not ready, yeah?
Yeah.
let's do this.
So number 1 is C.
Yikes.
Snowdonia.
Oh, really? I thought...
Yeah.
Sound like a joke.
Say yaks if I get things wrong, man.
Number 2, B. The flower thing. Rose.
I put my answer in the wrong thing.
Are you sure?
I
Esther?
did. Look, number 3 has roses. Because I thought by it back. Sorry, carry it, please. Carry the one.
Are you
Not
sure?
carry the one.
All right. Number 3. C. William the Conqueror.
Okay.
Look at this nigga. Or should I say wigger?
Number 4 is Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Which is
Option, sir. We don't
Option,
care.
what's
We don't know
option?
the
Oh, sorry.
question.
A. Sorry. A.
It's a
Definitely.
Bonnie Prince. Did you know that was a joke as well? Yusuf, you're cheeky. Man's out here putting 2 answers. Talking about A
no,
or
no.
B.
He said.
He said.
Oh,
put both
okay,
of
that
them
was
there.
okay.
Remember, you said put 2. You said the 2 options. You said.
No, that's for number 5.
Oh yeah.
Two houses.
Yeah, that's
Number
fine.
5. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But number 4 is A. Yeah.
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 Okay. Number 5 is B and C. The House of York and the House of Lancaster.
So you get half a point, right?
Yeah. Good point.
Well, if you get 1, you're gonna get no. I did
Don't be
both of them.
silly now.
No,
Just
half
stop
a
it.
points.
No,
no
in
half a
school
points?
that's what they do.
No, it needs to go with both of them or it's the wrong answer.
Who said that?
I'm saying that.
Are you the teacher?
Sorry, I've got X next to this.
6 is C, the jet engine.
The jet engine.
Yeah.
I think I got that
I got
wrong
that
as well.
wrong.
Remember the question? The question
I don't know the
was,
question.
what did Sir Frank Whittle invent in the 1930s? Radar, hovercraft, jet engine, or ballpoint pen?
I put D for that. Man.
I put a pen.
I put the pen as well. You do.
Okay, and that was number 7. No,
No,
number 7.
number 7
now
now.
one's 7.
Number 7, D, Oliver Cromwell.
Yes, and do you know what's mad? I didn't even put him down.
Serious?
Yeah, last minute. Used to great though.
I got it.
Yeah, you
There ain't nothing, another guess, dude.
8 is, remember, true or false?
Yeah.
True.
I copied you on this one, so you better.
Yeah, same marks. I
Everyone got
would.
this right? True.
Yeah, I got that.
Number 9
This don't say
is...
true. This is A. So.
Are you saying
No,
yeah?
number
Because
eight,
A
number
A
8
is true.
was
B
true or
is.
false.
Are you okay?
Oh, okay, fine. I'll
Now
take
you'd
it.
have pissed me off in school. I'm talking about miss.
That says
just
true or
count.
false. It says A. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
wrong.
because we're doing multiple choice, so A or B. A is true, B is false.
Okay, that's fine. Because I wrote true.
You're a
So
teacher's
there's
pet.
no confusion.
You're a-
You know what I'm saying? I just spelled
You're
true.
those people in school where it's like, miss, does it count if the person put, shut up, and mark the thing, man? To the point. Go on.
Number 9 is B, King Alfred the Great. That was the Viking one, Alfred.
See, I said it, and then I think I put the wrong thing.
Oh, look at that.
B.
It's a shame, innit?
And number 10, last question, where the crown jewels kept?
Tower of London.
Yeah, that's B, innit?
Yes, B.
Got that one wrong, man.
So what's everyone's thingy?
Oh, so are we doing half points or not?
2, 3. With no half points,
Yeah.
this person got 3 out of 10,
30%.
Is that me?
which is a fail.
You put F on my thing.
Esther, please break my heart.
No, you got 3 as well.
Jeez.
So 3.5.
Which is a fail.
Good.
What did I?
You got 3 as well. I'm like, nigga, I don't want 3.
What did I get?
Listen, yeah. I don't like anyone
worry,
to be
man.
better than me. I'm very competitive.
I said don't worry.
I get you. So this person had a strong start. You came out at the gate flying. I was like, rah. I was hoping you were getting things wrong. Yeah, I was praying for it. Then you got something wrong. Then you got something right. Then you're wrong. Then you're right. Then you're wrong again. Then you ended up being right. So you ended up with 6 out of 10.
No way!
England,
Hey, that's it, you know.
England, nada, Vindaloo,
Well done.
Vindaloo,
Well
nada.
done.
Yeah.
Come
I'm
on,
not a
man.
hater. Well done.
I mean, all that bullshit I'll be watching in my spare time. You paying
Paying
off.
off.
You get what I'm saying?
You did
That's
well,
actually
man.
really good.
I was here hating. I was thinking, please be wrong.
I'll be honest with you. I was hoping to get shit wrong. I didn't want to be like, mark it wrong, but that's good. Well
Oh,
done.
well done, man. Well, just to wrap up, the pass mark is 75%.
So we all fell.
We all failed.
Fucking hell.
All of you would have gone to Rwanda.
That's sad.
I'm not being funny, yeah, but so, okay, don't tell me with the worker Jake because I'm woke. I'm woke. It's a setup.
Yeah, that's the question. Is it a setup? Is it to keep people out?
Yes.
You remember,
No one's
obviously-
getting this right.
to be fair, right? You're allowed to study and certain things. I think they give you like a booklet to study.
Okay.
I don't think they tell you the questions, but they give you something to study,
Okay.
and then you can kind of base on that. But yeah, man,
It'll be the
a
question that
very
you didn't
tough-
revise that will come up, you know. That's very
it's
hard.
It's very tough, man. Very tough. But yeah, that's it. For
I mean,
what
treated
they
to do
said.
the whole thing, man. Whole 24.
But
You
the
know,
questions,
listen-
Yeah.
they're stupid. They're questions because my brethren's got to revise for this for this thing. They're questions that nobody's gonna know, bro.
Yeah.
No, I
Like
know.
nobody's got no business knowing. That nobody
Yeah.
wants to know.
Yeah.
Like it's so
Yeah, I know.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I'm thinking though?
What's it called? Send me the link to it. I want to read the rest.
All right, cool. I will.
I think I think it'll be so
intrigued.
interesting. I think a show where you get to see Brits, maybe the ones we call into LBC because you know they're the Britiest of the Brits, to see how much they really know about the country.
Yeah.
Hella people are failing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Whenever you express their opinion and like get out of my country, then just ask them a question. And
If they done the test to say that,
country.
forget like you got to do a test to come here. If they just hit up the residents and said you got to do this test to stay
To
here.
stay.
Ooh,
Land is
man.
empty, mate.
Some of us are gone.
I'm telling you.
But one thing about me though, I don't know about you though. I'll be here
Sure.
because I can cram.
With 30%?
No, this is
Okay.
you caught me off guard.
Okay.
If we had to actually revise for it, I'll make it.
Yeah.
But question though, like let's just say it was Dubai or Qatar that had this particular citizen test, and anybody who wanted to come in needed to basically know what was going on in the country. Don't you think that would save the life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's if it's like there's certain laws and that are kind of meaningful stuff. There's nothing that you need to know that's gonna save your life. Like the laws of the land are the laws of the land. You know what I'm trying to say? That you're asking about what year did Nelson's column go up and all that. Like what the fuck are you talking about? Like this is not helping anybody. I think it speaks to a dedication, if that makes sense. Like if you're serious about this, then you're gonna jump through these hoops, kind of thing. Like, and it will speak to the frame of mind of the person that they're in. If you're gonna actually do all this bullshit and learn the test, then you were serious, kind of thing. I think maybe that's probably the only thing that you can even gauge from it.
If this test was like this is not a real word, but blackenized, right? what would be the questions?
It'd be like about Martin Luther King. What's the second line of the speech?
Martin Luther King. No, I mean for Britain.
Oh, for Britain?
Yeah, which cities? Which
who's the landlord? You know what I mean? Gigs.
You mean for people to know what they need to know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would the questions be like?
You know what I mean?
It'll be like what he says, stupid stuff like, if you're talking the hardest, who's gonna pop up in your force? That's the hardest.
Who is Gigs? The other one.
That's crazy, man.
Yes. That's it for Welcome Job, man.
That's it? Yeah. So it's woke, isn't it?
I mean, it depends on what you guys think, innit?
It's woke.
You feel like it's woke, yeah?
They're definitely setting people up, man. That's how I'm older, man.
I mean, like I said, you do get to revise. They do give you some practice stuff, but still, I think it's like Mark was saying, just to see who's dedicated enough to actually do this to stay.
Dedicated. What's the prize? Actually, citizenship, innit?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a big prize.
That is a prize. That is a good prize.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's get. Well, speaking of prizes and people not being let in, let's get to our next headline.
Okay, so Border Force staff are going on strike for 8 days over Christmas at Heathrow, Gatwick, and several other airports. This has been announced by the PCS union. About 75% of passport control staff are PCS members, and Heathrow has warned checks may take longer on strike days. Thousands of other civil servants, including driving test examiners, will also be taking industrial action. PCS boss Mark Savotka said that the strikes would escalate unless the government put money on the table now. Strikes at the Department of Work and Pensions, the DWP, and the Highways Agency have already been announced. Mr. Savotka said that PCS members had no option but to strike because they were currently skipping meals, not being able to put the heating on at home because of the poverty that they're living in. The PCS General Secretary has had talks with government ministers, but he said they were refusing to increase a 2% pay rise. He told a news conference that they keep saying their door is open, but it's very strange. It's a very strange door because there's nothing behind it. About 1,000 Border Force staff are expected to walk out on 8 days between the 23rd of December and New Year's Eve. This is serious, you know? Yeah, and this is going to be at Birmingham, Cardiff, Glasgow, Gatwick, Heathrow, Terminals 2, 3, 4, and 5, and Manchester airports, as well as the port at New Haven. Christmas is a very busy time at airports, and the strikes are likely to lead to longer queues at passport control. In all, 86% of PCS balloted members voted in favour of strike action across 124 government departments and public sector employers. And the last headline I feel like we all experienced this morning, and this is that motorists are being advised to keep warm clothes, blankets and flasks of tea in their vehicles as a cold snap begins across the UK. The RAC said that people driving in frosty, icy conditions should be prepared and keep themselves warm in the event of breakdowns, which are expected to surge this week. Temperatures as low as minus 10 degrees Celsius are predicted overnight in isolated places, with minus 6 degrees Celsius elsewhere. A severe cold weather alert for England is in place until Monday. Issued by the UK Health Security Agency, the level 3 alert runs from 6 o'clock GMT until 9 o'clock the following day on the 12th of December, and signals conditions are likely to affect people's health as well. The government is expected to confirm later on Wednesday whether the current cold snap will trigger cold weather support payments for millions of eligible people. The Met Office said that further severe weather warnings might be needed as the week progresses. Current forecasts predict unseasonable temperatures well below average for this time of year in many places into next week, like we mentioned earlier. Met Office Chief Meteorologist Steve Willington said UK temperatures will fall with widespread overnight frosts, severe in places, and daytime temperatures only a few degrees above freezing. However, the cold air from the Arctic will also bring brighter conditions with some dry, sunny spells, particularly away from the coast and where winds are light. It could feel pleasant in the sunshine, he's saying. However, some patchy freezing fog is also likely. And that's it for the headlines.
Righty, let's get into our sports headlines, the reaction.
Yeah.
There ain't no sports headlines, is there?
There's no sports headlines. It's only some breaking news about Raheem Sterling.
Well, let's get it.
Yeah. And basically, England confirmed that he will return to the World Cup base in Qatar on Friday.
Man, I'm glad.
He's going to rejoin the squad, as we know, after flying home to tend to his family following the burglary.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that means it must be good then. He must feel like they're in
safe
good hands and safe and
yeah.
stuff, which is really good.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Oh, that's nice.
But besides that, there isn't really any sports news, man.
They probably was, but not the stuff that
we care about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, pardon me. There was something. Man United got beat.
That's what you're trying to breeze past it quickly.
You got beat by who?
Cadiz or whatever. What are they called? How'd you say it?
Cadiz.
Cadiz.
Yeah.
Cadiz.
Yeah, I think we lost like 4-2.
4-2, correct.
What was the starting lineup?
Anthony Martial, Scott McTominay, and the kids.
Okay.
The Bravka in goal. Zidane Iqbal played. Laird would have played. Deshaun. Lindelof would have started. Garnacho. Just kids.
Yeah. What about Van der Beek?
I don't know if he started or not, but he shouldn't be knowing the team anyway. Even then, I don't know, just wasting people's minutes. He needs to be on the bench chilling. But yeah, they got beat. They lost 4-2. So, yeah.
So you was going to keep that to yourself.
What's the basketball saying?
What's the basketball saying?
Yeah.
I've been staying away from basketball because my mornings haven't been going as smooth as I want them to go. So if I add basketball to it,
have a look at the standings.
It's, you know what I'm saying?
I guess we could. Who's your coins behind at the moment?
At the moment,
Yeah.
I haven't been watching. I tell you the truth though. You know who have been catching my eye though?
Who?
Mitchell and the Cavs.
You know what? The Cavs are doing well.
They're doing all right.
The Cavs right now,
And it's all new. It's all new to me because the Cavs have been trash forever.
Yeah, obviously.
So to see them doing decent is mad.
Cavs are only good when
LeBron's there.
LeBron's there, innit? But they're third in the East right now, innit? They're third in the East.
They beat the Lakers the other day.
They did, but they only beat them because
AD went out.
Yeah, he went out. Because, bruv, have you seen what AD's been doing?
He's on a tear, isn't he?
Bruv, he's on a tear, bruv.
He's
like,
averaging,
this is the AD.
He's averaging like 45 in his last 6 or 7 games on.
This is the AD that I've been waiting for. But, like always, he gets injured.
Yeah, he can't sustain it.
He went out against the Cavs for like flu-like symptoms. Apparently, his temperature was over 100. He didn't play again yesterday, I believe, as well.
Did they win yesterday?
No, they lost. So they've lost 2 on the bounce now.
So the 2 games he ain't played. One he come out and one he ain't played.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be sustained.
It can't be sustained, but it's so annoying because at his best, he can rival Giannis, Embiid, Joker, and them, man.
No, but availability is important, man.
No, it is. But seeing the numbers he's putting up, this is the AD that we want to see, man. But he just can't sustain it. It's jarring, man. But the Lakers are still
That's what's
bad.
mad, yeah, because it's like he can hit a purple patch, yeah, and do that, and you see him do it, and it's like, all right, cool. Once you start running to like 7, 8 games,
yeah,
it's eggshells. You're thinking,
yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
the walls are gonna fall off this any minute.
Bruv, the Lakers are 13th in the West.
Is it?
Oh, they're 13th in the West, bruv.
They'll fix that up.
They're about 4 to 5 games from 500.
They're 5.5 games back in it or something. Is it more than that? 6.5 now.
No, they've lost 10 and they've lost 14 and they've won 10.
Okay. Yeah. But they got Russell coming off the bench. He was looking a bit better. Obviously,
Yeah, no. Since Russ has kind of embraced this 6-man role, he's done a lot better. I mean, I think I ain't been checking starting lineups. I'm not sure if he's been starting the last couple of games, but
No, he ain't. He's been coming off the bench.
yeah. So yeah, he's kind of embracing it. People are talking about 6-man of the year, but I think it's too early to say that. But
yeah, no, he's been doing good.
all the trade talks have kind of calmed down a bit.
Yeah, I don't think if they trade anyone, it won't be him anymore. It'll probably be like Nunn.
None is having a stinker.
I can't remember who else.
Having a stinker still. I I'm still consistent.
But they got a long way to go. I ain't got money on no one actually. Like I said, I need to December, the Christmas games and all that. I'm gonna start focusing now. But like I said, man, my mornings have been techie, man. If I start doing basketball, it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah, no, watching basketball games live is.
I hate watching highlights.
But
I prefer to watch it live.
I have no choice because I'm not staying up until 3 a.m. to watch the game.
I watch East Coast. That's why I watch East Coast games. Cause I could do like 1 o'clock in the morning and finish at 3 or whatever. But the East Coast, they start at 4 and 5. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing here?
It's a lot.
No, I think it's the West Coast. Sorry, the West Coast starts stupid o'clock. So if you want to watch a Lakers game when they're at home or something like that, it's a myth.
Yeah, I live in clock. The Pelicans are top of the West.
Pelicans,
yeah,
number one.
Who's
ain't Phoenix Suns?
No, Suns are number 2. So top 5 is Pelicans, Suns, Grizzlies, Nuggets, and Kings. And then the East is Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, Nets, and Hawks. Nets has risen because Nets were in the bottom 3 not too long ago, so they've hit a nice patch now. But yeah, we'll keep tabs on it.
Yeah. Coming up soon. Give it a few more weeks. Christmas Day games will be good. But what do we don't work over Christmas, do we?
You're meant to have a staff meeting about that.
As in what? As in Boxing Day?
Huh?
Boxing Day, Christmas Day, or you mean like a week off? Or?
Oh no, because it's bank holidays anyway.
What's that?
You don't think you're going to see me here on Boxing Day and Christmas Day?
No, I'm not saying I'm going to be here. I'm asking what's the plan?
What did you mean? Did you mean like the week or did you mean...
Yeah, do you mean the whole week off or do you mean the actual days? Like Christmas Day, of course, Boxing Day. You know what I mean?
I'm saying that ain't it like
a lead up into
ain't there like a Christmas period?
They're like a lead up into the
You mean the same... You got to talk to Brent.
This could easily get sorted off. 100%.
I was having domestics on air. We're going to think we're here against our will.
But yeah, man. That was it, man. Let's get into Out Ere, man. It's the end of the football. I mean...
People are jokers, man.
What would they say?
In the comments, they're surprised that we want time off. You're talking about, so you don't want to be in your beds, away from your working places, but you want us to be here doing Jester of the Week, providing entertainment. You are joking. Talking about they're going to be here 8 a.m. sharp. I bet you will be.
What, on Christmas Day?
I don't know what day they're talking about. Someone's like a week.
This is Deion Sanders again.
Someone said a week. What? You don't even know about our 4-day week. Our 4-day week that's happening. You're gonna be shocked.
Nah, they're saying Christmas is on a Sunday, so Boxing Day, you lot better be in the stews.
It's a public holiday. It's bank holiday. Monday and Tuesday bank holiday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because whenever our Christmas ends comes on a Sunday, the next 2 days are bank holidays.
Oh, okay, so the 26th and 27th.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever.
Okay,
My white employer.
I'm sorry, people. Y'all will not be seeing us.
So that week will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
What?
Oh, that will be in.
No, that will be in.
Sorry, what?
It'll be Wednesday, Thursday. You're making me laugh, bro.
He's not comprehending the words coming out your mouth.
We'll be in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and then New Year's Eve is a Saturday, so it won't be here anyway. New Year's Day is Sunday, and then Monday we'll be back.
What we did for Out Ere today, man. E-man made me laugh. He sent me something. I'm gonna actually, Brett, you could do Screamer, they can see what you're looking at, innit? Mm-hmm. E-man sent me something. It's making me. I've always gone through a bit of it. It made me laugh. So we should just look at it together. Go to the bottom one, Brett.
The last one,
the new one, number 3. Yeah.
All right.
So, E-man wanted me to use this opportunity to mock white people in their Christmas cards. Yeah. Because he's saying that, obviously, like the white people are doing strange things. You get me with them. So some quirky Christmas card choices, like they're getting together as family and taking pictures and stuff.
I can't wait to do that.
So
I really look forward to that. I hope my black man knows he's doing that.
I was going through some of these, like, I haven't even read the story. You get me? I'm just scrolling, looking at the pictures. Yeah. And some of them are like, oh wow, okay, this is what these lot were doing. But some of the, as I keep scrolling, I'm looking. I'm like, you're a bad mind, E-man, man. I don't know. I don't think these are all like post. Some of these just look like. I'm not even finishing my sentences.
What are these postcards?
Some of them just look like pictures, but some of them don't look like they're from this decade. So it looks like you have just found old people's pictures, like from the 70s and that, and put them on blast here for no reason. Some of these trims are not.
No, that tash.
Yeah, look at the
that tash is from the 70s.
That's from the 70s, isn't it?
Yeah,
So you just bought a picture.
But it all counts.
No, man. You don't know what it was for.
Because you know what's mad, yeah? No. It all counts.
You can't bring it back in 2022,
No,
man.
you can. Do you know why? Yeah, because every single picture has an element of Christmas, so it's relevant. Yes.
Yeah, but they might not have been postcards. This might have just been their pictures. You might be just taking these people's personal pictures.
But think about it though. Back then, there was no social media. So how would we have got the pictures if it's not that they sent it to somebody and that person kept a record?
There you go.
They deserve this done out here, man. Every single one of them.
These pictures are all
This is
crap, by the
foolishness
way.
of the highest order.
They're all crap.
We got onto Balenciaga for doing this.
I am sickened.
The first picture is the whole family in their towels.
No, that first.
It's the second one for me.
Yeah,
The leaf.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one's all shaky, yeah. But
This
I'm
is mad.
What's that? A black monkey?
That's-
I mean,
is it a black monkey? What? What?
a monkey is a chip. Is it a chip or something?
It's a baby monkey.
Hey, listen, but when you go down, there's
No, this is great. I said chilling with my hose. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's the one that but what are you saying? Do you think they was postcards?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
100%.
Yeah.
100%. These are not just family photos.
This is you just took a man and his family and you're bothering them.
Wait. What's wrong with that one? This is order.
There's nothing wrong with this. Is just
Oh, no,
this
look
is
at
a
his jeans.
picture.
That's
Look
a
at his
regular
jeans.
family photo.
That's a regular
that's a
family
regular
photo that you
Look
are trying to
look
bother
at
these
his
people.
jeans.
Like they never done
Where's
nothing.
This
that
is the
one?
one that Mark just talking about.
But look
That's
at
a
his
regular
jeans.
family.
Why is
Yeah,
it
that's
spotted
a
in the
normal one.
jeans?
That's a normal one.
Is that normal?
It's just a
That
picture.
one, yeah, that's a normal one.
Why is his jeans wet?
All right, so scroll down.
Are we missing the spots in his
Bro,
jeans?
Oh my
no,
God.
let me keep it PG.
That's why we're missing the wet. That's why he made it. That's why he's first in need. That's why he made it. Because if you're taking a picture,
Yeah, Brent, you have to put the picture up a bit more, you know.
Which one?
let them see the spots in his
I'm
jeans.
seeing it late though, obviously. So
Yeah,
you
you
might have
have
done
seen
it.
it. Yeah, I did do it.
The hell?
I'll use
No, but that one's I would have done. That one, whoever that was his mistress that did that.
But the pictures are weird though. Like, you know what I mean?
They're all very weird. They all deserve.
Yeah, they're
this.
all weird. But I honestly believe, that some of these people's just took some of these people's private pictures.
I think it's only in that one. I can't lie to you.
So what would it look like in the black
Okay, that's that one.
family?
No, wait, why does it go
The
black
black
eye?
household.
It's just normal poses. I mean,
Wait, if I wanted to do, no, I'm gonna do one with like.
like, for example,
I don't understand why you're
Like, for
bothering
example,
these people.
why is the dad naked? You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah, like well, you know what? They
Why
love
is
that.
he naked? It's weird.
But they love stuff like that. Though.
Why is the whole family naked?
Like, do you know,
what I
it's,
mean?
nudity in the Caucasian culture is banter.
Mm.
They're just
Yeah,
running
that's
around
true,
the house
yeah.
naked, just flashing your willy. Like it's all. That's just that is the joke.
Yeah.
Funny people. Funny lot.
Like Brent said, how would it be in a black if it was a black family?
How would we do
As in
this?
this
Yeah, how
this
would-
type
yeah.
of way, as in they have to be like kind of stupid.
Because all the fathers are represented here, to be honest.
That's the joke, Brent. There's no dads in the pictures.
That's what I was trying to
Not
stay
a
away
damn
from.
dad in sight. The only man in there might be Sansa if we rent one. But the single one paying all them bills, she might not be able to afford a Santa. Hella mums and the kids.
And will everybody be smiling?
Wait.
Nah, because the kids probably just got smacked for not paying attention
When people are
to the damn
barefoot,
picture.
the barefoot thing in pictures kills me. Or like when them singers want to do that on stage and start going barefoot and all that.
I
The
think it's so
barefoot,
dirty.
yeah, the barefoot thing kills me. Yeah, so I just want you to look at some of these pictures because they just made me laugh, and I was thinking, E-man's just bad, man. He's just onto these man for no reason. Like, some of them are definitely questionable. Don't get me wrong, but as I keep scrolling, I was looking at these and I was thinking, some of these just look like some of these people's private, personal pictures that he's just come and just decided to bother them for no reason for. You get me? Just all up in these people's business. But some of them are definitely a bit, yeah,
Risque.
yeah,
Doing
risque.
Balenciaga.
I'm sure you guys must have Christmas pictures, like, you know, old ones back then, you know.
What, like this?
No, just a picture of you in Christmas time.
On that Christmas day?
Has a Christmas spirit. I don't know, there might be a tree in
Yeah,
the background,
possibly. Yeah.
presents.
But we're just
Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
We're
definitely.
everyone's fully clothed.
I mean, I suppose if I went to my
Everyone's
mum's house
smiling.
and looked, I'd probably find some stuff
Yeah.
for the kid.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah, I guess.
I can't wait to do Christmas themed cards and stuff for my family.
No,
yeah.
actually, there's one as adults. I made everyone wear. They had to come to my yard wearing Christmas jumpers. I'm sure I got a picture of all of us in funny Christmas jumpers and things.
There you go.
Yeah, but man ain't topless or nothing.
No, I know. They're not egregious.
Dick
like
out
this.
with a leaf covering it. And how mad that is. Yikes.
Are they done at it?
Everybody,
Yeah, they
every
are.
single person, especially the man with the wet jeans, everybody's done.
I think you are just bothering these people, man. But it was funny. It made me laugh when I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, so we had a quick laugh. They could be done at it if you want. This guy, the chilling, chilling my hoes.
That's jokes. I think that's elite.
Well, you say that. That could be his wife and his daughters.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. They're all weird. So, like the ones who had their kids naked with them, it's all weird. It's all weird. If we had one, because someone said we should do TD needs to have a Christmas shoot. If we had one, what would the theme be? What are we working with? Creative minds. Come on, guys. What is the vibe like?
Everyone should be a particular Christmas character. So someone should be Father Christmas. Someone should be
Oh, an
a
elf.
reindeer, an elf, the Grinch.
That's actually a sick idea.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
So let's label each other all the.
I'll be Santa.
Why? Because you're a woman.
What's it got to do with me being a woman?
No, it's like a opposite thing. Opposites.
No. I just thought is the most. I don't want to dress. I don't want to be green.
Okay.
I'll just be Santa, and I guess wear a nice bodycon tight dress.
I think mine would look good as a reindeer.
Why?
Put a little red nose on you. Put the tanners things.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know.
that's a bit of you.
What other Christmas characters is there?
Grinch,
Scrooge.
I could be Scrooge. I'd like to be Scrooge.
Grinch. What was there?
Yeah.
Elf.
Grinch.
I'd be Scrooge. Scrooge works for me.
Yeah.
Ebenezer.
Mm.
Come on.
I really don't like that name, you know.
All right, lose that, man. It's 11 o'clock, man. Let's get into our outro.
Let's do it.
All right, people. Thank you for joining us for another amazing show. We appreciate you guys. Big up the live comments, the live crew, and the callers as well. Big up all of you guys. Follow us on our social media platforms, The Day After TNB, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, like this video before you come off it, and also share it. The conversations stay up, the videos stay up. Do all that great stuff. Share it. If you'd like to send voice notes and text in to us, the number is 075 6484 1073. It's also the number to call when we're live on air. If you want to inquire about the show or feature on the show, email the team the day after at thenewblack.com. We are out of here and we will see you tomorrow.
Also,
Damn.
you and Yusuf could be Mary and Joseph. And then we could be the three wise men.
Mm.
You know what? Fair enough.
That's true.
Fair.
I hear that.
That's a good
What would you be? Would it be the frankincense guy or the myrrh?
gold and myrrh.
Gold and myrrh.
Frankincense and myrrh, innit? Yeah, I'd probably be like, I'd come with different things like all-purpose and paprika and...
All right, I'm done. I've got this.
You don't know what?
That's all
He's
purpose.
definitely
Wait.
bringing them hoops from Jamaica.
That's I think that's a nice end of question. So, as the three wise men, what would you bring? Like, what do you want to bring to Mary and Joseph?
Bring a hoe. I'm
Brent?
joking.
I'll bring some roti.
Some roti.
I'll bring some roti. I'll probably do it as wraps because they probably wouldn't know. In fact, they would be eating with their hands.
What, with nothing inside it? Just a plain roti?
No. I was just gonna. When I say roti, I normally mean roti with a side, so curry chicken, curry whatever. But I was there thinking that back in the day they won't eat with their hands, but that's all they were eating with, so they'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll bring some food.
All right. E-man?
Bring some books.
Some books?
Yeah, got to make sure that Jesus has what he needs.
A baby,
as well.
but you bring baby books?
Yeah, man.
I said start them
Yeah,
early.
pro
Start them early.
black. Pro black books.
100%, man.
I'm
Big
bringing,
up,
I'm bringing Guinness Punch.
fair enough. Might as well
Guinness
get
Punch,
lit.
books and roti.
I want to shout someone out. Magnus. Magnus is I always read the questions and I never say the person's name. I don't know if it's a girl or guy. Big up Magnus A. I think that's that. I've got a dentist appointment to make. Goodbye, everybody.